How's about this for magic, Peter? As I lift up my coat, I have something in my pocket not revealed and pointed right at Peter.
Are you pointing a gun at me, Sal? Because I can't possibly believe that you would ever be that.
Sledge on that pole a couple of times would probably take care of it. You guys moved.
Yes, we did. We had U.M.
Well, I've got it here. There's somebody nearby. If they ever found out.
Well, now I reckon I ought to tell you a story about a little office that handles things nobody else will. You know, the supernatural, super unnatural, hauntings, hexes. The whole list is rather long, and we don't have near enough daylight for that. What you need to know is this. Ain't no script here. We make it up as we go. Music, sounds, etc. It's all produced for you live, like magic. And it being a scary story and all, I'm assuming it will have all the things scary stories do. But I'm just guessing here, because of it being improvised and all. Alls I know is with this cast, well, it's probably going to be brutal, violent, and have enough moral decay to make our therapists quit. You got one of those, right? Good. So use your brain, okay? It's gonna be scary, strange, and dumb as hell. Oh, f*** off, you. Foolish, frankly.
First off, the name's Sal. I don't know who Frank is. And second off, we're dumb, not foolish.
Right.
No, I just think that there's too many inconsistencies going on here, and now you forced me to break out the big guns. And as I say that, you see a sliver of yarn, little thread, drop out of the pocket. Now, I'm going to ask you one more time. Explain what's going on here. Or it might end badly for you.
I, again, grip the top of my cane pretty tightly before raising it ever so slightly and then putting it down on the floor. Might hear like a little bit of a snapping sound. I actually don't know if this... Did she describe it as carpeted? It's 56, right? Is that normal? Sorry, what a weird thing to focus on, but I'm curious.
I've imagined it as a wooden floorboard.
So did I.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay. So you hear a little click as he, kind of snaps it on the wooden floor. And I look to Gus. Gus, where are you standing?
I think I'm sort of making, another point in the triangle. I'm probably next to Ben, I imagine. I'm probably close to the body in this moment.
All right. And Sal, where are you standing? Jim, Sal, where are you standing?
Middle of the room, facing directly towards Peter, I'm guessing.
And I'm at the door. Yep. Okay. Peter's at the door. Okay. He looks between the two of you, inhales deeply, looks around the room, and then begins to walk forward a little bit. Go ahead and keep that gun pointed at me, Sal.
You think this is a gun? No, it's something much worse than that.
Well, let's call it a gun for now, shall we? Keep it pointed directly at me. And he looks over to the left window, where there's a very large telescope for stargazing. So it'd be opposite the window that was broken into, we suspect, right? With the latch that you're at, Gus.
Yeah.
And he kind of starts heading in that direction a little bit, slowly. What would you say motivates you, Sal?
Truth.
Truth. Would you go so far as to say that that is your life's purpose?
If it wasn't, then there would be no purpose for Sal. So yes.
And that is the
Truth is very
singular
important.
through line that drives you. Gets you up in the morning,
Yes.
keeps you going. Truth. How does that
Yes.
manifest itself for you, Sal?
In every action that he takes, it's always in the pursuit of truth. And, the biggest one is finding the truth about, well, his wife.
Right. So when Peter says to you, how does truth define your every action? What do you say?
How does truth define my every action? Well, it defines it in truth, so my pursuit of it is what drives me. I guess it's the simplest I can explain it.
And you would do anything in the pursuit of truth?
Just about.
I need you to make a roll for me. Let's do a mind roll. You can have a 10 shift.
All right. Oop.
Oh, that's what I forgot. Remember when I was like, I can't wait to forget something, guys? That was it.
Ooh.
Okay. Will you read it out? Because it's not on the screen at the moment.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, that's a success.
Oh my god,
Result
it's a
at
2. Oh my god.
Yep.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Then I, as Peter, I look over you very thoughtfully for a minute while you answer this. Like I'm trying to suss out whether or not you're lying, whether or not you're full of, bravado or shit. And then I lift up my cane and put it again down on the floor to get that tapping sound. And I turn and look out the window, fully aware that you are still kind of pointing your gun, is it a gun, at me through your coat. And Peter says, I never married. I never had children. I took no apprentices until Rowan. And I only did that because he was Benedict's. And I certainly couldn't have him stewarded under Bellwether Marrow.
Question for you, is everything that he's saying true? Or is this half-truths? Is there a narrative behind it?
Ooh, are you rolling to see if you're doing insight?
Yeah, is this a story?
Yeah, oh god, that's such a good question, but I'm going to let your 2 hold over. He is speaking from the heart here.
So this is truth.
Yeah.
All right.
It's his truth anyway, as far as you can tell.
All right. Jim's going to make a note to kind of... There's a small piece of yarn that's hanging out of his pocket. He kind of flicks it out to the front, just so he can see it.
Yeah.
He's reading it.
Huh. He still has his back to you, and sort of to you then as well, Gus, as he's looking out the window. William Close was my master. Back then, you see, and he kind of turns and glances over his shoulder. One master would have several apprentices. We were small, studious, and very naive. But we were very hungry. Firstly, Percival, myself, Benedict. Are you much of a stargazer, Sal? And now he kind of turns to look at you while glancing at the telescope first, then back to you.
No, can't say that I am.
And his eyes move to Ben's lifeless body and then back to you. Benedict used to watch Andromeda at night. It's always been there, you know. Over our lifetime, it grew sharper, brighter as it was getting closer. He was very much looking forward to the day when it would be as close and as vibrant as the Milky Way. He liked that important truths take longer than a human lifetime to reveal themselves. He lifts his cane a little bit, taps it down, making that sound again, that clicking sound. Almost like he's trying to steel himself to continue. Our lives are our work, Sal. We devote ourselves in totality to this driving principle of knowledge. And Ben was no different. He changed the world, and his eyes move back to Ben now. Directly and indirectly in ways so monumental, you've never heard his name. As was his intent. And he looks back up to you now. In 1768, Benedict ran a series of experiments with a fellow apprentice, in which, together, they observed that air did not behave as a single substance when exposed to heated metal filings. Ben recorded that air could be spent, it could be altered, divided. Later, this gets published and leads to the discovery of oxygen. In 1765, he isolated what he called an inflammable principle from combustible plants. He proved it could be captured, transferred, ignited, independent of its source. Hydrogen and combustion chemistry don't get named for generations, but the path was forged by Ben. And he grips his cane a little bit tighter. In 1772, Ben conducted sealed chamber trials using distilled herbal vapor, which fathered the study of the human lung. In 1801, he documented that weak electrical stimulation altered muscle response in the recently dead. In 1850, he refined a method for cleaning surgical instruments with distilled compounds that stripped away decay without harming metal, harking back to 1768. In 1895, he helped stabilize glass lenses treated with mineral films, allowing for clearer observation. And he looks over his shoulder at the telescope again. In 1905, belladonna alkaloids began circulating as treatment for asthma. And by 1916, asthma was finally understood as not one illness, but many. And by 1920, he was advising physicians on controlled dosage, warning that the dose makes the cure and the poison. Because of Ben's work, his dedication, by mid-century, adrenaline bought time, aminophylline bought breath, and eventually someone realized medicine didn't need to flood the body at all, it only needed to reach the lungs. He raises the cane again and brings it down to tap it, but it's much weaker this time, full of less, like conviction maybe, anger. That is the rhythm of our life. That was the rhythm of Ben's life. Step to the very edge of knowing, then stop, and step aside and do it again. We walk a very narrow, fragile line between discovery, hunger, and restraint. Sal. Between what can be done and what the world can survive being told. It's easy to say you have magic and will to save the world. But we have learned, painfully so, that the world has to want to be saved. Otherwise, every warning simply becomes noise, every miracle heresy, and brilliant young minds perish due to fear. Now, I did not. And he looks back to Ben again, and then very quickly this time back to you. His hand is now trembling. I did not do this.
But do you know who did this?
No, I do not. But, Sal, I agree with you. Whoever did this left almost nothing except very, very politely a road that curves directly to Miss Moore. I believe someone is rearranging the room while we're still in it, Sal. And dare I say, I don't believe you will catch them unless they believe they have gotten away with it. Now, I am not proposing that we let that happen exactly the way they clearly have planned to have it happen. Ego often drives men to error. And he begins to walk towards you and Ben now, because you're still standing by the body, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you both stand firm as he begins to walk towards you?
I do, but I want to check something first.
Yep, absolutely.
Again, has everything he said been absolutely true, or is there a story
With
to
that,
what he's saying?
Yeah, with that too, again, I'm letting it hold over for the scene because it's such a fucking good role. Yeah, he is absolutely speaking from the heart with conviction. It's painful for him to look at Ben, but in a way it is a story, but it's not like it's rehearsed. It's a story of their life, of his life. But he means every word of it.
Okay, so it's truth. All right. You see that the yarn still hasn't moved, and Jim keeps glancing back down at it. But he'll stand firm.
Okay. then he doesn't, he continues to walk towards the body a little bit. And at one point he gets to the desk. And he then lifts his cane up, tilts it all the way down to the bottom of the cane and begins to unscrew the bottom of the cane as he is speaking. So I'm going to place this in your extremely capable hands, Jim. I acknowledge that this may take time, but time is a resource I can afford to lose, whereas Miss Hazel cannot. And he tips the cane, and out falls one of the Greymire devices, one of the
injector.
The injector. Yep, out falls that. It looks well-loved, old, well-used, and he sets it down onto the desk and then looks at you between you both. Now, I am going to go into the other room and I'm going to collect Miss Moore. And I'm going to escort her to Tabula. And then in my interview, I'm going to tell everyone about how I briefly spoke with you all, with you and your colleagues downstairs, leaving the entire investigation in your more than capable hands.
I get it.
And you promise to keep Miss Moore safe?
For as long as I can. But then I imagine she will be turned over to you because of what you found. And then his eyes move to you, Gus. And he looks at you as he takes his hand and touches Ben's cheek very softly. And then he looks to Ben. What will you find, I wonder?
Wondering that myself. Jim's gonna lower his hand in the jacket pocket and pull out a ball of yarn.
What color is the yarn?
It's blue.
Yeah.
But you notice that this ball, the inside of it is just raw material, and on the outside is yarn, yet to be what has been spun and what hasn't been spun.
I think he has a look of surprise and puzzlement across his features, and he tilts his head a little bit as if waiting for you to explain.
Oh, this? You never heard of the idiom? To spin a yarn?
More than capable.
Think I'd point a gun at you? I only point guns at people I intend to shoot. We'll take care of it. Rest assured.
So, you're gonna tell your colleagues that you spoke to us, and that's gonna spook someone inside your organization, I imagine?
He blinks at you for a moment, then looks down at his device, which he has laid on the desk next to Ben, and then back to you. I imagine your investigation will reveal a setup laid perfectly for Miss Moore. But because of my visit here, perhaps, to see a dear friend in his final moments, and discovering my device, as well as my fingerprints, might lead you to a different conclusion. What I'm saying is I would rather spend time accused than Miss Moore.
So you're both being framed. So whoever's doing this
I don't think the intention was to frame me. I think the intention was to frame Miss Moore. But I am asking, perhaps maybe now a little bit more directly, that you do indeed frame me instead.
I see what you're getting at.
Okay.
Do you have any leads at all on this? Anything?
His eyes move to the board. And he's trembling now. Quite a bit, actually. Leaning very heavily on the cane. And he says, no, and that frightens me. Ben worked on a lot of things, but most recently, he was consumed with the idea of mortality. But he'd already decided to grow old with Hazel. A respected decision, might I add. His knowledge wasn't locked away from anyone, but by his own choice, and it certainly wasn't locked away from him. If he was working on something new, it would have had to have been for her.
The work that he has on this board, we understand that to be memory retrieval. A especially powerful one at that. It just doesn't make any sense as to why he would want this. Our best guess was that he had something locked within his own mind he wanted to get, but couldn't. And that the Curials were trying to silence him.
Maybe not his mind, but hers.
Her mind. Something was locked, you think, in her mind? But I thought that only happened with voluntary mission from Mercurials to have that information locked away.
If a Mercurial did it, yes. But I'm not convinced this comes from within. Although they must have some sort of connection, because you're right, sending a bunch of greens in for someone so well respected in our organization seems foolish. Dumb. But they weren't accounting for you, it seems.
I mean, how could you?
No one expects dumb.
Your presence would imply that whoever it is wily enough and well-connected enough that cosmic intervention was required.
Well, that implies what Ben was working on is, or what this person is up to is quite dire, a lot more dire than, one murder, one cover-up.
It sure would. It also implies you're going to need more time than we have before my colleagues arrive.
I'd be crazy to not be suspicious of your organization based on what little I've learned about it.
Then please investigate. And his eyes move from Gus to Jim, Sal again. I expect that you will devote yourself to the truth, whatever it is.
It's the only way I live my life.
And I am forced to leave mine in yours.
I will do my best. We all will.
And then he will... Oh, man, that too did so fucking much, man. He will reach into his breast pocket and pulls out a old school skeleton key, very small, and places it on the desk. Should you find yourselves at Tabula or any other mercurial office, that is mine. Don't let anyone see you use it, and you did not find it here.
Funny name.
Is it?
For an organization that deals in secrets and memories, yeah, a little bit.
Tabula? Like tabula
Slate.
rasa?
Yeah.
Yes. Clean slate. Interesting indeed. I've been beginning to understand how your words have power. Thank you. Jim's gonna take the skeleton key and put it in his pocket.
And I'll take the Greymire device.
Yeah. I think he's hesitating. His eyes are lingering on Ben. He's shaking quite a bit. But then eventually he heads to the door to leave. And he does not look back. And he heads downstairs, looking for Miss Moore. And we'll switch.
Go on, Miss Moore. I need you to trust me. This is probably going to sound weird. I need you to open this door and just think really hard about the letters D-U-M.
And which door are you opening for her? And this is for past Miss Moore, right?
Past Miss Moore,
past
yes.
Miss Moore. Okay, so then you open the door for past Miss Moore and kind of usher her in. I don't think you see the office. I don't think you see what lies beyond for her for whatever reason. Either you're just not looking or whatever the case may be. But you do kind of close the door, safely keeping past Miss Moore kind of out of sight for when Peter comes down and, says kind of tearfully that he needs to escort Hazel somewhere where they need to have an interview with her and talk to her about her husband and what happened. And then he will look to the two of you, I guess Alder as well, so the three of you, and say, I just had a very refreshing conversation with your colleagues. Perhaps they will fill you in. Good luck on your investigation.
Thank you. You as well. Whenever you investigate what's next.
And I think he's like looking off in the distance for a second before he, looks back to you, Harry. I think they will take everything from me. But what is the point of living if not for truth? And then he begins to escort Miss Moore out, which is our future Miss Moore, by the way, is now. Yeah. Okay.
I'm looking at her to see if she seems distressed or shocked or surprised at all about this.
I think, and B wasn't able to make it today, so I'm going to do my best. But I'm assuming, based on the way that she described her relationship with Peter, she'd look to you guys for kind of a clue on whether or not this was okay. But she does trust Peter quite a bit, and would absolutely, assuming you guys didn't stop it from happening, she would go with him.
If Peter came down here and we didn't say hear anything from upstairs, I would have probably been heading down the stairs around the start of their conversation.
Yeah.
If I didn't hear anything, I'm partly assuming they let him go.
Yeah.
Which means that this is intended.
Yeah, I feel like you may have heard, and you can roll for it if you want, but this is what I will give you without a roll. I think you probably did hear like raised voices a little bit. He did get a little heated as he was going through the timeline of his life, but you would have heard like years. 1859. You're like, what? And then
yeah, I'll roll body. I think would be
go
that.
for
Yes?
it. Yeah, for sure, to see how much of it.
Just to see how much I may have gleaned.
Yeah.
A 30.
30. Okay. I think that's exactly what you heard then. You heard like 1959, blah, 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 raised voices, but then you did eventually hear nothing. It kind of calmed down for a long time. But there was no loud bang, nothing that you could really kind of tell until he came down. He is looking a little bit resigned as he comes down the stairs. Almost defeated in a way, or nervous. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, someone confident or someone who had done something to our colleagues wouldn't be looking this way normally.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely going to let it happen. Though the reason I was looking, frankly, was just not at him, but at Ms. Moore to see if she remembered this happening.
Oh, so this is the
future Ms. Moore.
Yeah, this is our Miss Moore. So she wouldn't remember it happening because she went into the closet, right?
Well, right.
Like Akachi kind of ushered her to the side, and so she doesn't. Yeah.
But that's why I'm thinking, like, with the future Ms. Moore, I'm thinking it's getting the weird timey fuckery.
And I'm
to see if
happy to explore that for
whatnot.
sure.
So did we change something? Was this always the way it's been? Or is this now something different that she's never been with him before? That's what I'm trying to go through and spin it in circles.
I think you might see like a light bulb moment with her where she's kind of like maybe, oh, this is why they didn't come and talk to me for a week. This is why I thought they were ignoring me, because I come and they escort me to Tabula and interview me or whatever. They think they have me, but past me is still at the house for a week, not being tended to, because they think I'm somewhere else. So there's maybe like a little light bulb moment where she's like, oh, aha. But if you guys kind of give her a slight nod that it's okay for her to go, and I think she looks probably first at Harry and then at you, Akachi, because the trust is pretty high there. And then kind of, oh wait, you're in the other room with the other one, right?
No, I'm here.
Or you came in. Okay.
Yeah, I came in. I honestly, I'd be looking at older here.
Yeah. Ooh, this is such a good, okay. Hold on, I have to roll. Because I don't know how I would feel about this.
I heard nothing of the conversation. I was downstairs the entire time.
I also heard nothing, but I trust
suspicious of.
Jim and Gus. 31. I think for the first time you see maybe a falter in Alder's like persona of like, yep, everything's as is supposed to be, and we'll go with the flow. There's a moment of hesitation and potential doubt, and then she kind of looks to Hazel to see if Hazel, trusts Peter, and she seems to feel comfortable, so she's going to let that happen. And she kind of then nods to y'all.
And it would be a slight nod from Harry when Hazel does pass over.
And then I think Hazel takes the hat off and gives it back to Alder. And then they walk out the door. And then immediately, as soon as that door closes, Alder bolts up the stairs to go talk to everyone.
And I give it a few beats for them to go where they're going, and I go outside.
Bless you. Yeah, bless you. Okay, so let's follow those who bolt upstairs. However, do we want to rewind a little bit and just have a scene with Sal and Gus, Jim and Gus, real quick? Pan? Yeah. Okay, so this is like right after Peter leaves. Go for it.
Well,
so you didn't have a gun. I wasn't convinced that you had a gun.
no, I have a gun. It's just
No, I know you have a gun. I've held the gun. I've seen the gun. Listen, I didn't trust that guy at all, but he just fell on his sword in a pretty major way. So, I guess we kind of have to trust him by default, right?
I didn't see any lies. He wasn't making up a story. And, that's all I can tell. So, everything that he said, I think we can take it as truth. There's something much larger here going on.
Yeah. Well, now my suspicion is that this comes from outside the Mercurial organization, but that whoever this is has people on the inside of the Mercurials instead. So that's more alarming? Less alarming? I'm not really sure.
It's pretty terrifying if you ask me. So I guess the best next step would be to ask Alder, are there defectees that still have ties? Is there a rival organization? Like, what are we dealing with here? Is it just one bad apple who happens to have connections? Or is there something more sinister, more planned out? Is this something much larger than one individual?
I'm going to inspect the... It's a gray mire? Is that
Yep.
how it's...
Yep. It is this very cool looking, like, Bioshock style looking injector. It's super cool, but very alchemical in nature. Like, it looks steampunky as shit.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And it is smaller, so it's not necessarily like a gun. It is more like a pen injector that has been, kind of like, refined. It's got a lot of like mechanical gears and stuff and parts that are very visible. Again, it's got that very steampunky vibe. But it looks different to the other device slightly. Like maybe this is an older version of the same device that Moira pulled out or Mira was using to show you.
Does the device operate intuitively, or does it feel like I'm going to have to spend time with this to understand how to utilize it?
Oh, we could just make a mind roll if you want. Like, I think you're pretty wicked smart, so I'm willing to just be like, yeah, after 10 minutes you get it. But also there's room for cool magic shit if you want to roll.
Yeah, we can roll. Can I use my applied cognition on this one?
Absolutely.
All right.
$27. Ooh, this is super fun. You know immediately how it works. And I think like after just staring at it for a moment, you're like, maybe it's a marvel, really. But you can see kind of maybe where changes were made, or you just kind of have this idea of what it originally looked like way back when in 17 something. I have it in my notes, so don't fucking hold me to that number. But like way back when it was first originally like implemented and invented, it probably had like a very basic kind of pressure gauge on it somehow, and a bunch of other things that have been like refined down over the years into this kind of more pen-like device with a thumb plunger instead of the like gun style plunger. But there is a spot where almost like kind of like a rifle, you would kind of insert the tube or whatever it is that you were going to do, the vial, and then you would allow that chamber to close, and then the pressure would then just kind of, when you use the thumb plunger, the pressure kind of distributes very quickly and very fiercely over the skin. Yeah.
So it's purely mechanical. It's it's like an elegant in its simplicity.
Yes, it's very mechanical. It would imply that either the device itself is also magically imbued, and then also the vial at which they put in there probably is magical in nature, or whatever's inside the vial is magical in nature. But the device itself seems to be primarily mechanical. From
from this assessment, do I think this can draw out the liquid from the same injection site from Ben's neck? fast, or would that have diluted through his bloodstream completely? Because I know that I'm aware of where the injection site is. So I'm wondering if there's some kind of reversal that this thing is capable of doing.
Ooh, that's
To, like-
interesting. I don't think so.
That's fine.
Yeah, and normally I would just try to find any way to be like, yeah, sure. But I just don't think that that's the nature of how this device would work. But I will say this. The head of the device, both Mira's and this one, are the same size. So it does appear that they kind of like nailed that distribution size, the size that the platform needed to be for it to properly distribute, and that has not changed throughout the years. So while this device probably isn't the one that did this, it's perfectly framed that a mercurial device is what did it. And I think based on your conversation with Peter, assuming what he said is the truth, then the device you're probably looking for is either not going to be found in here, or potentially, if they were trying to frame Miss Moore, it's going to be Ben's device. So if you're going to try to swap out the devices, you need to find Ben's device and take it with you. Yeah.
Gotcha. But I guess Jim watches me do a bit of like a CSI matchup thing of like the thing against the injection site that I've identified, at least, that I'm like, okay, it was something like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's
Can you suck out the magic?
at this time, I have to say this is when we burst in the door, right as Jim is saying, suck out the magic. Are y'all okay?
Yes. No, we're
Yeah.
safe and
For
sound.
the record, I had the same thought, but no, I don't think so.
There's no suck setting?
I don't think, not that I can see.
That's a bummer. Well,
Okay, well,
anyways.
this Peter fella just escorted Miss Moore out to go get interviewed.
Yeah, he's
he's on our side.
Okay, well, that's a relief. Y'all
Yeah.
want to tell us about this enlightening conversation he had with y'all?
He dropped quite a lot of knowledge. A lot of dates, a lot of achievements, a lot of important stuff that Ben has been involved with.
should probably be a big group catch up, I imagine, when we're all here. Just to, just so we can all pull our notes collectively.
Do you need more
Yeah.
time here, or should we go back to the office?
We should
I've only
spend
got
a little more time here.
All right.
I've only got one or two other things that I want to do here before we, put a bow on it.
All right. Okay, let's pause for a second. Harry, what the fuck are you doing? We need you. Just kidding.
Well,
Yeah.
there were some things I found out just a few minutes ago.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Let's
The window.
go backwards. What did you find out?
I found out that the window had been left unlocked.
That's right.
But definitely that's where the footprints, the two sets of them, had been leading.
That's right.
So, going downstairs, having the brief interaction with Peter, Hazel, and
Right.
Akachi and Alda, I waited until I knew they were out and presumably gone or somewhere. I'm not sure if they travel the same way we do or not, but I wanted to make sure they don't see me walking out. Because I'm still not 100% on Peter. I have no idea. I
Yep.
was not there in that conversation.
Yep.
All I know is he came down of their will, so
Yep.
I'm trusting Jim and Gus on this.
So
but
you are going round outside down on the bottom to look under the
under
window.
the window.
Okay. Yeah. All right, go ahead and make me a roll. This is for something extra because I know you have eyeballs.
Yes,
You can
yes.
see the obvious, so I will give you that.
I think I do want to use my soul on this, namely magic. I'm not using just my eyes. I'm trying to peer and see if there's something else hidden here. If that's a thing I can do.
I think you can, but here's the thing. I think human nature, I think you're going to look with your eyeballs at the moment.
That's
Just
fair.
because that's kind of what you're using. But if you roll really well, we'll say lore-wise it's coming from your luck. But I'm just curious to see. what happens here using your
Of
eyeballs.
course.
Yeah.
As I apparently just apparate for a second there.
Okay, that's fine. It's suddenly nighttime. No, I'm just kidding. You go outside and it's dark.
I use my eyes, but I forget to open them.
Yeah.
You gonna work with? There we go.
Oh,
There we are.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Got there in the end.
We did. There we go. All right. So I'm using mind. Any shift here, perhaps since I know that it was unlocked and I'm looking for something that I'm looking for people, evidence of people because I know that.
There's no shift, but only because just trust me. Just trust me. This is for
I do.
something
I do.
extra. Okay.
For sure.
Okay, good. 13.
That's a 13
Fantastic.
nonetheless.
Okay, so you see outside the window, you see like what appears to be a, oh God, y'all, the tool. What's it called again? Trowel?
Greymire?
No.
A trowel.
trowel.
That's right.
Trowel.
You're gonna,
yes.
you're gonna see this. You're gonna see one of those. Clearly, probably Miss Moore's stuck into the dirt, and you're gonna see like a lump of dirt that was buried underneath the window. Like obvious, you cannot miss it. I wouldn't make you roll for this. It's super obvious. But that
Sure.
13 is going to give you extra stuff in a minute, depending on what you do.
Right. In addition to Devil in the Details, because
Yes.
that's also I get.
Yep.
So I'm
that's
getting
why,
2 extra
That's why I
essentially.
had you roll. Well, no, because did you roll mind? You did, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why I had
I
you roll
did.
mind because you're using your extra devil.
Yeah, Devil in
side.
Details is
Yeah,
you see
yeah.
something people would miss, and I succeeded.
Yep. Yeah, I know. Go ahead.
All right.
So I mean, unless you stand there gaping at it, in which case this is all you see. But if you get
No,
close,
I'm-
okay, you're gonna dig it up.
I'm absolutely getting close.
And
I see that. I'm going.
Are you gonna dig it up with your own trowel that you were supposed to use during this investigation, or are you gonna use the one that's right there for you?
I don't recall having a trowel of my own.
Oh, somebody got one. Miss Moore gave one to us to use in the investigation, I think.
Oh yeah, from the
Yeah.
storage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing.
Was it me?
It might have been you.
I'm going to use this one, but the reason I'm going to use it is I still have the latex gloves on.
Okay, fantastic. All right.
So I'm going to do just that. I'm going to use this trowel and dig up what is in there.
That's right.
I
okay.
also pull out, maybe beforehand or maybe doing whatever the case, I have a gallon Ziploc bag with me,
That's right.
which
you
would be
do.
perfect for holding things like evidence.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so as you've got your latex glove on and you dig up with the dirt, you are going to discover a Greymire device buried here underneath this window. What do you do once you reveal it?
Oh, I put it in the Ziploc bag
Okay,
immediately.
okay. And when you put it in the Ziploc bag, and what else do you do?
Well, I'm going to be looking around not just for this, but it looks like people climbed out the window. Now, I want to see if that actually was the case,
Yeah.
or if they just doubled back and never left the window.
Okay.
As in, if there's evidence of someone,
It does
because-
not look like there's evidence of anybody dropping to the ground.
Because 2 people would have to have dropped down.
Yeah.
There would be branches or,
Yeah.
or things just
Yeah.
scattered. Regardless, if you tried to hide it, there'd be snaps
Yeah.
or twigs missing.
I think this looks to you like, I mean, you rolled a 13, so I'm just going to say, I think it's pretty obvious to you that it looks like somebody marked the window on purpose to make it seem like something was thrown out the window maybe and then buried later. Like, this is really
this
convenient.
this is a plan.
Yeah,
Someone
yeah.
did this on purpose so it would be found and it
Yeah.
would be noticeable.
That is exactly, I think, what this evidence is leading you to believe, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which would imply that this trowel probably has prints on it that are planted, maybe.
Correct. And so I'll put the trowel in there as well in the Ziploc bag.
Okay, yep, all right. And
Because
the
while
same
it
one?
is, well, I only have the one.
Yeah, okay,
I
all
did
right,
say
all right,
a
that's
gallon
fair.
Ziploc
You did,
bag.
You did, yeah, okay.
So I'll be honest with that. But nonetheless, I mean, they were both in the same dirt, so
Yeah.
I'm not really worried about it contaminating each other.
Yeah, I think it's weird for you when you look at the scene because it looks like it's like just perfectly enough to pretend like it didn't want to be found, but like it's obvious, like it's like layers. Like you're like, wait a second, you know, if you were going to go through this effort, why leave the trowel kind of by the bush where we could see it? You know,
Yeah,
like
it's,
all this
it's
stuff,
amateur
it's weird.
trying to be professional.
Or rather, it's the other way around. It's a professional trying to look amateur so that it gets caught, you know?
Right.
Like
Right,
somebody
right.
knew well enough to, then why do all this? It's weird.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, but that is all that you find here in this moment.
Okay. The other thing I'd be looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we were given, it's presumably, now I'll let you correct me if I'm wrong, because I did ask Ms. Moore back in the office, this is a bit ago, to draw the plants they asked her
That's right.
to grow, in addition to the order they were asked, so the most recent ones. And there were books that I was looking at on herbology on what plants do. And we also know that Ben was injected with something.
Right.
Whether it was before or after, not sure. But we do know that his eyes were dilated like an opiate would do.
That's right.
This is Ms. Moore's garden. She wouldn't know what she's planted necessarily. She didn't know the names. She's just given something to plant. I'm looking to see if there are any of those most recent drawings that happen to also be planted here.
Not underneath the window. You're going to need to go into potentially a greenhouse on the yard.
If there's a greenhouse, I'll absolutely. That's my next step would be, is the outside
Like,
looking
I
for
think
these plants.
If you look around, you see normal garden shit. If I'm honest, like, okay, there's tomato and, other stuff.
Sure.
It's not until you get into the greenhouse that you start to see shit you've never seen before. I don't know how well you know plants, Harry. Do you know plants?
I'll give myself a roll for it, I think. It'd be whether or not I listened to my mama when she was gardening.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's
So
go
I'll be
ahead and
honest
do
with
that.
that one. So but probably by mind or soul.
Oh.
That'd be mind, I assume, from memory, or soul if it's something's extra special.
I'll let you roll either, but your answer's going to be different. Mind would be memory recall, and soul is emotional connection with your mom.
I'll do soul then. That makes more sense for me.
Yeah.
Any shift on that?
No, because this is kind of like a shot in the dark.
Sure.
90.
Well, that's a 90.
Do you want to burn and roll that again?
No, I don't.
Are you sure?
The only reason I'm not sure is whether or not, because I'm trying to compare drawings with what's in here.
Yeah.
Not plants and memory.
Right.
So, being able to compare details doesn't necessarily need that connection there. That's the only reason I'm thinking no.
Okay. Would
I also
you
know
like
that if
me
I
to
spend a
counter
burn, I
argument you?
immediately get a burn
I
out.
know. Would you like me to counter argue here?
Sure, by
Could I
all means,
maybe
I'll
just
take it.
could I maybe just posit something in the voice of Alder that might be going in the back of your mind right now?
For sure.
You are walking into an alchemicalist's greenhouse, and there might be plants that you don't recognize in here, and also it might be trapped, and also you might breathe something in that might hurt you, or you might touch something that might hurt you, or all of these things, all of the above. It's dangerous.
For sure.
Don't go
I would
wrong.
hope that they wouldn't have something inhalable that's dangerous that they just give Ms. Moore to walk into and plant, admittedly.
That is
I
assuming
do
it
have
hasn't
gloves.
been tampered with. Yes. Okay.
It's true.
Right.
I do have gloves with touch.
Yeah. It's up to
But
you. The burnout
that
is
is
a big
a-
deal. Yeah.
That is a fair statement nonetheless, and burnout is a big deal, and if it's like the ones I've gotten in the past every single time, it affects me very badly.
Yeah. So we don't want to do that. Maybe.
No, I'm going to
Okay.
hold that for later.
Maybe hold it in
imagine
case
I'll
you
burn.
do inhale something terrible, and then you can use your burnout to save your life.
True, that'd be a burnout roll, I believe, though.
Yeah. But the way that the burnout roll works is you get to say, I'm taking a burn to roll out, and I succeed at whatever it is I'm doing,
Very
including
true.
living.
This is correct.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you walk in there. Now roll me a flat D100, please.
19.
19. Okay.
Much better than I'd expected.
Yeah. You step in, and I think you take a deep breath in. You're smelling a bunch of stuff. You're smelling like mint. You're smelling all sorts of things, kind of like maybe competing with each other. But you do start to see a bunch of plants you don't fucking recognize at all. And it is alchemical as all hell in here. It's awesome. You're going to see like wind chimes. Miss Moore liked a lot of like wind chimes. It seems like the wind chimes are maybe potentially even enchanted, that they will kind of make a certain sound when a plant is ready to be cultivated or something like that. It seems like her husband loved the shit out of her gardening and just did a bunch of stuff for her. So you're going to see like a lot of strange devices in here. Again, very steampunk in nature looking. And then a lot of plants you don't recognize. And you will absolutely find a plant that maybe matches one of the drones. Maybe a couple of different.
I would be looking for I think the three most recent plants that if possible.
Yeah, well, you rolled a 19, so I'm going to say you find all of those. And then your devil in the details will come into play here now, where you notice one is already disturbed.
Yeah. And I'd make note of that. And so I'm looking at these the pictures, the drawings, and I'm selecting those ones that match. Let's say I think it was 4.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to collect them because they'll in theory still be here, and even if they're not, I have the drawings. I ain't touching these because I don't know what they do.
That is very smart. Okay.
But I am going to earmark the one that was disturbed.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
So earmark the one disturbed, and the other 3 I know that were here and most recent.
Okay. Question, my love. Do you lean in and smell them?
Definitely not.
Okay. All right then.
That I have the foresight to not do on the off chance. I mean, the fact that
I'm an idiot. I would be like, just so that I can describe what it smells like to them, and then I'd get myself killed, I'm sure.
Dumb, not foolish, as was said earlier.
Yeah. I'm pretty dumb.
And the earmarked one in particular, I really wouldn't, because Ben had something happen to him, and if this is the cause, I don't feel like I want to die today, or at the very least be inebriated beyond all everything.
Yeah. All right. Well, now what do you do?
Those 2 pieces there, I'm looking. Greenhouses tend to have dirt on the floor.
Yep.
I'm going to be looking for footprints that might match the pictures from what Gus had taken.
Oh, this is annoying. I only say that because the love that Ben had for Miss Moore, there's a lot of magical enchantment to this greenhouse, so it's pretty clean.
Right.
Yeah.
Pretty clean doesn't mean perfectly clean, though.
It's true. You can roll for it if you like. It's another mind roll.
Yeah. I'll look and see here.
I will always say yes as a possibility.
5.
That's a 5. I guess you're going to find something. Okay. That means you're going to find 4 sets of footprints.
All right. And I just Ben, Hazel, and the 2 that match our pictures more than likely. We saw Ben's footprint. We saw Ben's prints from his shoes, so I could probably match that. Or I could match it when I get back upstairs if I don't remember.
Yeah. Here's what I'll tell you, because that's a really good roll. You'll see Miss Moore's footprints all over the place. You see Ben's,
that makes sense.
Ben's go to that disturbed plant and then out. And the other 2 follow your exact spot, as if they also maybe went and looked and then left.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Nothing with the other 3 that were...
Nope.
Nothing from these. Okay, reason. All right. Okay.
Are you satisfied now? Can you come back? Because we got a lot to tell you.
That's what I was... Okay. No, that's what I was going to come... Now that I have this, I'm heading back. Don't worry.
Sorry, I'm sassy today. Okay, all right. Perfect.
You are, and that's all right.
He's heading back, y'all. Okay, how long do you think... Do you, like, jog back, or do you, like, walk back slowly?
A brisk pace. I don't feel like I'm going to jog.
Okay.
I don't feel like sweating up anything.
You know, like when you're trying to look cool at the airport, but you're also secretly having anxiety about missing your flight.
You're worried that you're not going to make your flight. You're a bit tight.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a tight window, but I'll make it. Yes.
Yeah, where your like hips are kind of.
I just run. I'm too scared to miss my plane. I'm more scared to miss my plane than I am of people looking at me. I just sprint if I need to.
Okay, that's fair.
Reasonable.
I don't want people looking at me, so if I'm sprinting, they're looking at me. So, anyway.
Also fair, but yeah, so I'd come back. I'd think this maybe takes 10, 15 minutes.
Oh, that's annoying, but yeah, that sounds about right.
I mean, really, if I'm digging up a thing and going in there and looking around at prints and such, it'd probably be 10, 15. Do you want me to step away for you?
No.
While y'all talk?
I say that we go, y'all, what were we doing? Well, he took 10 to 15 minutes to do whatever.
I think by this point, we would at least give a debrief. So
yeah.
We're like, well, when he gets here, we'll...
Yeah.
So
We'll tell you what happened.
Explain. Yeah, we'll tell you exactly what happened.
And then he steps in the middle, and I'll go, well, y'all better start from the top then, because now you got to explain it all to Harry.
Sorry, I found some things, and I'll fill y'all in after you fill me in on whatever the hell you're talking about.
Great. We love being filled in. Let's go. Go ahead, Jim. You start.
Well, I pressed Peter. I got him to spill the beans about what he knew about this situation, and all I can say is that he's not the one responsible for this. He came here trying to figure out what was going on. Somebody else is behind this.
Okay.
That much we know.
I had a feeling something like that when you let him leave.
Yeah. He's very invested in this. He wants to know who it is, but he's leaving it up to us to figure out who done it. He's taken Miss Moore, and he's promised to keep her safe. So I think he can be trusted. But
all right.
We're dealing with somebody who has connections to the Mercurial.
2 people. The prince with 2 people, remember?
Yes. So could be.
I have a suspicion now that you say that, but I'll fill you in on what I find first.
Could be one fella heading it, or it could be a separate group altogether. All I know is that, from what Peter said, is that Ben has a long list of accomplishments. He is a very well accomplished man, and this work that he has been studying on might just be connected to why this happened. Now, whoever we're dealing with, whether it be a group separate from the Mercurials, or maybe they're a part of the Mercurials, they certainly have connections to the Mercurials. That much we know. Now, I'm not too caught up on the history of all of this, but Alder, is there a splinter group or a rivalry going on in the world of... I mean...
Yeah.
That's the... Oh.
Yeah.
Any notable ones?
Well, let me think. I mean, the Mercurials are, as far as I can tell from the outset, kind of like, the good guys in terms of secret organizations as far as those go. In terms of trying to help, I guess the best they can. One could argue that, you could try a little harder, or you could, use magic to stop genocide or what have you. Let me think.
Anything you know of internally?
Well, there's the 9, and I'll look around for a second before I say it.
A 9?
Yeah, it's ninefold. It's like a
ninefold.
Yeah, it's like a.
What's that?
It's like another organization full of mages, but it's a little bit on the scarier side. They don't really have too much of a foothold here in the United States anymore. But
anymore?
Yeah, there was a huge incident, mass murder. But that doesn't really. Somebody broke into their organization, killed a bunch of people, and blah blah blah, and they just haven't really sent more over. So their kind of presence is a little bit on the lower side. But they consider themselves to be like almost like Templars in a way, Like we're going to go and decide who gets to use magic and who don't, and we're going to keep knowledge and hoard it. And I've never met one myself, but I know they exist. Let's see, and by the very nature, Mercurials are all about knowledge and frankly sharing that knowledge, at least with those in the...
If you're in the know, if you're in the club.
Supernatural community, yeah, like what?
Yeah.
Something like that. But, Yeah.
Was there a specific date when they were all massacred?
Yeah, I'm sure there was, but I don't know what it is. We'd have to go and look and find out and talk to some people. It was a long time ago, as far as I know.
The only reason, I don't know, when you drew that parallel between the Templars and the 9.
Yeah.
Friday the 13th is when the Templars were massacred in France. And that date holds significance for being bad luck.
Holy shit, is that where that comes from?
Yes.
It's not a fucking pop culture reference? I think you just cured my rash when it comes to Friday the 13th. Can you say it again?
That Friday the 13th is when the Templars were massacred.
I don't have an itch.
I don't know. I didn't know how deep the parallels ran, but I just felt that was interesting, seeing as they had a foothold here until they were wiped out.
Yeah.
Just like the Templars.
Yeah.
People still think they exist.
Yeah. Well, I don't know too much about you know, the 9. I just call him the 9.
I feel like we're hitting a tangent here.
Are we?
Yeah, I wanted
sorry.
to go back to
I do that.
what's the game plan then? Because unless I'm misunderstanding,
Well, I do have some
you missed this
more.
part, but it seems like Peter was suggesting we frame him in the meantime.
Yeah, he gave us a smoking gun to swap out for the one that was, well, wherever it is, the one that was left to implicate Miss Moore.
Wait, I'm sorry. Hold on. Back up. Someone's trying to frame Miss Moore, we think?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, let me frame it to you this way.
Yeah,
Miss
please.
Moore's the only one in the house.
Okay.
There's a coffee stain on the floor.
Got it.
Ben died with no puncture wounds.
Okay.
Poisoning would be most likely
Oh, God. Okay.
the suspect. It would have all led to Miss Moore being guilty, and that
That's
doesn't
mighty
explain
convenient.
So I have information that may help here.
Okay.
Oh,
So I couldn't say any of this because we didn't know about Peter. We had no idea in general. All right. So remember when I went over to the window after you talked about having a smoke, Jim? That was me using that the excuse to examine the window, because how would people get in and out without, So I saw the window looked like it had been tampered with and left unlocked, like someone used it to leave. Hence why I left the house to look under the window to see. No evidence of someone dropping out the window.
Yeah,
Because you
materials
would-
don't need. I mean, mortal people, normal people need doors, but supernatural people don't, you know?
Sure, but let's say that you could hire someone, mundane or whatnot as a mercenary or whatever to do this and get in and out. But nonetheless,
Or you make it look like it's a mundane.
correct.
Right. I see where you're going now. Oh,
So-
okay.
In addition to that, and I hold up the Ziploc bag, this was very obviously buried in the garden below the window. This is that hypo thing, and this is the trowel, Ms. Moore's trowel. Likely Ms. Moore's fingerprints are on the trowel, though I doubt it on the hypo.
Holy
This
shit.
was meant to look like it wasn't to be discovered, but would be discovered. As in a professional or someone who knew what they were doing wanted to be found, but not quickly.
Like someone panicking after they've murdered someone.
Right, but to make it look like that.
So they
This
wanted
is
it
very
to make
clearly-
Yes, I under-
look
it
like
was
Miss
planted
Moore
here to be
freaked
found.
out and dropped something out the window?
No, this was planted. This was very much intentional. There was nothing that was dropped out a window from what I looked at.
But made to look like she.
Correct. This
Panic
was
in the
something
moment,
to be
yeah.
found,
Okay. All right. Okay.
to
All right. I
implicate
get it. I'm following.
Ms. Moore.
All right. Well, can we,
So-
and I point to Akachi, you have one of those. Can we swap it out? Can we just put everything back the way that it was? With this,
I don't have the trowel.
Who does?
I think that was Miss Moore had a trowel.
Well, there's a trowel here.
Yeah, but she. I think she brought one
she
as
gave
well.
one to one of y'all as one of the things you found in
Yeah.
the warehouse to use.
Yeah.
That's right. Let's say, yeah, Jim, you
Somebody
have that,
has
perhaps.
it. Yeah, somebody has the trowel. I forget who.
Sure.
But can we do that instead? Like, or I don't know.
Reverse it to make it look like it was Peter, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm
So
mean,
Ms. Moore's
if-
prints would be on
I'm
that
still-
from grabbing
if
it
we're
from
all
That's a-
on board with framing Peter.
hold
Right.
on.
Who would we
Before
even frame Peter to is the question.
Well,
There's more if you want more information. I found other things before we get forward.
Yeah,
Continue.
go ahead.
Continue.
I take the papers out. Here are the drawings that Ms. Moore did that I requested of the plants that Ben had requested her to grow. She didn't know what they were.
Yeah, what the hell is that?
These are the four most recent ones. There's a greenhouse out back. That's where they're all growing.
Okay.
This one, you marked one, was recently disturbed, as in picked from used.
Okay.
I found prints, footprints, 4 sets, Ms. Moore, Ben's, and the 2 others that match up here.
Holy
Ben's
shit.
footprints went to the plant and disturbed it. Ben picked whatever this is. The others looked around like I did. Looked around to see what was picked, what was grabbed. Okay? Those are the main things I found here. These other ones didn't look like they wanted to be found or discovered in any way. To the best of my knowledge, I don't know if they would have found, because this was a very clean greenhouse, very probably magically cleaned. I'm kind of surprised I saw these prints, if I'm honest here. But who were the two people that were so adamant on not talking about that missing page? And I point to that.
And that was Mira and Rowan, wasn't it?
Correct. And who didn't Rowan seem rather disturbed or upset that they were no longer the apprentice of Ben?
I have no idea.
Right,
If I was standing here or not. I don't think I was, right?
Yes.
You would not.
Rowan's now the apprentice of Peter.
Peter.
I understand
Correct. Correct. They are. And Peter didn't want to take apprentices. However, they were Ben's apprentice, so they were willing to tell. I know this from when you filled me in. That's right. So they weren't originally going to be Peter's apprentice in the first place. So they must have requested and went directly to Peter for that, right? Now, if I recall, in our conversation with Peter when I was here as well, Peter said that there's no reason they would have withheld information from us. And yet they were very adamant on not telling us what was on this missing page. Remember? Very.
I remember that.
Do we think that
cut each other off?
Yeah. Do you think that was out of fear of, like accidentally revealing something that they shouldn't to a stranger? Or do you think they were coached?
I think they may have, coached, or they... Everything about them was too perfect. The glamours.
Right.
Down below, it was too perfectly noticeable. It was too perfect of a burial in the sense of it being professional but amateur at the same time.
Right. Okay.
Their investigation, if you recall, there's a conflict there that I didn't get to point out because, again, the things were here. Mm-hmm. They said it would take an hour or so to do their initial. They did it for 5 minutes and left, recall? They said it'd take an hour. All of a sudden, it took 5 minutes when Peter was mentioned to be showing up.
It's a good point.
They didn't want him to know.
That's interesting. Yeah,
I also
that's
remember
very
Peter
interesting.
mentioning that he found it odd that they would refuse us.
Yes,
So
that's what I mean.
Peter knows, yeah.
This information, Peter was willing to tell us what this was. And they told us the inklings of it because we had figured out some things. It almost seemed like they told us because we knew something, not because we asked.
Okay, so either someone is very carefully, what's that term?
Puppeteering?
That'll work. Puppeteering. I was thinking marinating for whatever reason.
Marionettes.
That's the one. Right.
Yeah.
So somebody's very carefully marinating all these people, or they just know intimately how the organization would work.
It's the thing
Right?
is, I think
and abusing that.
Maybe the thing is, Peter didn't know why they were sent. They're green. I kept asking why the hell that there would be a green in. Why would you send green detectives to be looking for a high-profile murder? Yeah, okay, yeah, but you're here with us. You're here with us helping. They had no one observing them. No one.
I am.
I'm trying to absolve you here, Alda.
Swim somehow. I mean, you are trying to absolve me, but I definitely did throw you out on your own for at least one or two.
Yes, but you at least were there for help. They had no one here.
Okay.
They had no one.
Yeah, that's weird.
And one of them was the apprentice, someone who would have been here with them.
Yeah. What was that, Akachi?
I just think this seems more like, and it seems like Peter was suspecting the same thing. It seemed like someone outside of the Mercurials but has ties with them.
Yes, it seems like there was some kind of collaboration. They knew who would be sent. They knew that details would be missed. They knew that it was gonna unfold in a particular way.
Okay,
They
hold
clearly
on.
had that many pieces in place.
All right, hold on. Let's remove us from
Yeah.
this piece. What does the scene look like? Somebody take over and unfold it. We don't show up at all. Because we're the unexpected element, right? So
Yeah,
let's
well-
follow the line, but let's plot it out as if we were never here. So what happens?
What we were told by Ms. Moore was
Uh-huh.
these 3 show up,
Right.
they do their investigation, and about
Yep.
20 minutes
For
in,
now, what do they find? We're not here, remember?
right, they would find the body slumped.
Right.
They find a page missing.
Right.
They may or may not find the window open. That was a little subtle. They may or may
Right.
not. They might
Right.
find it. They might
Okay.
not. There was a book that was missing and replaced that you found out, Pan. But that would have been, in theory, back in before they got here.
So they may have missed the book and they may have missed the window. So what do they, in their assessment, they report that died of mysterious circumstances?
They saw the dilated eyes that they've investigated. They died of some sort of overdose or opiate.
Or something,
They-
right?
They probably identified that it was delivered with a gray mire.
They might, yeah, they're probably familiar with that.
They take her into custody. They didn't find anything buried in the garden, obviously,
So while
but I
she's
bet
in custody or being interviewed or whatever, they then send the non-greenies to go and investigate, and what they find? The
They
dilated
hold up the
eyes,
bag.
the bag of shit that's got her prints on it, probably.
The coffee stain. The Greens may have found that too.
Okay.
And they see the page missing.
So
I mean,
that's
that'd be
probably
confirming
not
that.
real then either.
Yeah, but they also might have noticed the book being moved if they're not green. They may have found or looked for magical what's its and who's its to see what may have been disturbed during the last 24 hours or so.
Yeah. Was that as obvious as everything else in here?
No, it wasn't. I only
Okay.
noticed it because of the photo that Pan took.
Okay. Holy shit.
So,
I've
but
never done
Oh,
a
that's
mercurial collaboration before, but this is crazy.
I go and I grab the herbology book, and even
Yeah.
though I can't read Latin, I'm now skimming through to find the picture
Yeah.
of the one that I've earmarked.
Okay.
And I'm looking for that page.
Yeah, yeah,
Once I
yeah.
get there, then I hand that to Gus.
Yeah.
Hey, your book of Latin would be very helpful now. Could you figure out what this is and what it does?
I can try. Yeah.
That'd be great. What does it say in Latin as the name of this herb?
Are you asking me?
Yes, I am.
Oh, let's
Because at
look.
least it'd be readable. It'd just be in Latin, so I wouldn't know what it means necessarily. But it's possible that
My
maybe
instinct is to
the root.
Atropa. Atropa.
Yeah, I'd have no idea what that is. Not
Atropa.
from the name in Latin, I should say.
That is crazy. I had no idea. I had no idea that this show is haunted. Because Atropos is like the thread of life, right? Which calls back to Jim and his new magic ability with the thread.
Yeah, I think so,
Anyway,
actually.
it's fine.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's what happens every time. Okay, so this is what was taken. Ben took this plant.
That's the
I think
genus, by the way, right? That's not the full name. That's just like the genus.
It'd be like
Am I
a
using that
trope or
right?
something or whatever.
Yeah, it would be a tropa, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this a real plant, or is this like a fictional, like, alchemical plant?
I don't know. I guess you'll have to find out.
Okay.
Yeah, start translating. Start on translating.
Uh-huh.
So, I think you're onto something there, Aldo. Though I think I mean, the two of them,
Mm-hmm.
the two, Rowan and what's the name? I already forgotten because I haven't. I
don't remember.
I
either.
wrote this down.
Okay, good.
Rowan and Mira, the
Yeah.
two of them, they were the ones that were so adamant on not saying anything here. So either they are being puppeteered, being the marionettes of
Marinated.
somebody.
Oh, marinated.
Not marinated. They ain't no. Well, they are meat, but we're not eating them. We
I don't know
marinate
why you
meat.
jumped to that.
Well, you
Harry.
said you're marinating people. Anyway, I'm not the other.
You take a bath.
I
Is
just
that called
mean
marination?
pulling the strings.
That's right. Not marination. I know. Anyway,
Okay.
regardless, either someone is working, is moving them around, and had them do this, or moving them around after they did this.
Yeah.
You said that they don't need doors or windows to get in through here, but wouldn't this room be protected from that? Wouldn't have Ben set up things? I mean, like,
Yeah,
I
in
would
theory.
assume
I mean, I don't know.
wards or something so that people can't just go in uninvited.
I mean, maybe.
I don't know.
Unless you weren't expecting anything to happen. I don't know. I don't know enough about Ben and Miss Moore. I'm just as green as you are.
I mean,
about this
the
anyway.
greenhouse does show there were plenty of magical things in there keeping it clean, and
Yeah.
so he clearly did something like that to make it easier for Ms. Moore in there. I'd imagine there's something in here. If he's working on stuff that isn't really allowed, it's blasphemous, as Peter put it,
Yeah.
there'd have to be something in here protecting those who aren't invited.
I mean,
It'd have to be.
I agree with you. I don't know how we go about figuring that out.
Right. Well, that's
Maybe-
what I mean,
I
though,
could
is
maybe
if
look into. I mean, I could go to the Devils and I could see if I could find like a ward revealing spell or something like that. I could trade for
right,
that.
or just find the source of the ward. That might
Oh
be
yeah,
easier.
because that's so easy, Harry.
I said easier. I didn't say easy.
Well, let me throw something out here.
Yeah.
Let's say if it was a ward, wouldn't we have been aware of that if we tried to enter in here? If we
He's
weren't
already passed.
allowed?
Maybe it's linked to his
Well,
life. Or hey,
our
Miss Hazel,
wards-
Ms. Moore let us in. We were invited.
Oh,
We were
shit.
invited in the house, but we weren't invited in the room.
She did. She brought us up here. She let us in here,
Well, I mean specifically. Okay, well, I
and
guess.
and verbally said we can go in and look around.
But
Depends
how
on if
would
the
Miss Moore
intent
be tied
is
to a
more
ward
important.
he created. Is really
Well,
the
he would have to
question.
make her as an exclusion, surely.
Because she
So-
came in and out all the time.
Yeah, she
Maybe-
came in and all that out of the time. So I'm not even sure if Miss Moore had the ability to let others in. So that's what I'm
Yeah.
getting at. Since she wasn't the one who made the ward.
Unless she was leading Peter and his friend, any other friends he might have in, he may have made her an exclusion. I'm not sure.
You might be onto something where the idea, the nature of the ward is those uninvited or unwelcome.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Miss Moore will always be welcome in her own home. And then, therefore, anybody that she invites in is also welcome until suddenly they are not. So, if, for example, Miss Moore were to find out there was somebody threatening her, they would suddenly be unwelcome in the home, and then the ward might activate. That's actually a very clever way to put up a ward without telling your wife what you're doing.
Yeah. I mean, one way or another, those greenhorns, they're suspicious as hell, at least the two of them. Whether or not they're the ones that imagined and did all this or not, I don't know, but their glamours they did were perfect. I know it was... When I say that, I noticed that not a speck of dust, not a drop of water, nothing. They were perfect. It was too perfect. And I could see that seemed like an oversight on their part. They didn't realize they were trying to look clean. They wanted to look professional. And that would kind of line up with this trowel here. They wanted it to be found, but it was too perfect.
That is interesting. Sorry,
I'll
Catsi, go
be.
ahead.
No, it's fine. I guess my question is, what do we do next?
Yeah, that's mine as well. Like, are we okay framing this Peter fella? I mean,
Well, that's
I don't
what he
want.
wants.
That's what he wants as a last resort, but let's not get too hasty. I want to give him some time because, after all, he's the one who's looking after Miss Moore. So
True.
let's
Yeah.
not
Well,
be
but-
hasty to incriminate.
Yeah, but if we frame
They're
him,
not-
then she comes back.
She comes back to
innocent.
us,
That was
yeah.
the whole point. Yeah.
They don't have the nail in the coffin either way yet. You know what I mean? They don't have Ben's Greymire to implicate her yet. We have that.
I have this.
Well,
they
but
wouldn't
that
be able to.
implies that once
link
his
it.
interview is over, they will come here, right?
Yeah, but if I keep this, they won't have the prints on the
Yeah.
trowel or the original device,
Okay.
If they don't have the smoking gun, we make the call when we're ready.
and they know that we're running this investigation. So
So,
But
okay.
Wasn't Peter's plan to frame him and have the culprit slip up because of ego? They think they got away with it? Wasn't that
Well,
what Peter was saying?
well, no. I think if we frame him, the people that set this up are gonna know something is dreadfully wrong because we are the unaccounted elements.
Or they'll think it's exceptionally good.
Yeah, they'll think they got away with it if we are presenting like evidence of like, oh no, we found Peter's this and we found. They'll probably
We
think
found
they just
the
got
real
lucky.
one.
Yeah.
They'll think that they would let us to Ms. Moore, and they go, oh, but now they found the
Because
the
we're not
fake.
gonna, we're dumb, but we're not stupid. We're not gonna fall for that.
They would know that we found the things that look obvious.
And then we found a different conclusion, which is that it was Peter and that she
Compared
was set
to
up. I
internally,
think-
if they found it,
Well,
they would just
I don't
blame her.
If I went to all the trouble to set up a frame job and a different person got framed, that would still make me nervous, personally speaking. I bet that's just my angle.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
I see your point. They might think, okay, not what I expected, but fine, good
you
enough.
know, hope. Okay, well,
Alternatively,
here's what I want to
admits-
know. Here's what I want to know, and this is really important. Are y'all okay framing an innocent guy and pretending we solved this case?
I'm not okay letting Miss Moore get framed.
That's not what I'm asking you. I'm asking you, are you okay letting an innocent guy take the fall for something and pretending we solved a case that we didn't solve yet?
No.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm not okay with
sorry.
that.
That was, in my mind, that's only to buy time if we need it or to, like, make a move. Like, I'm not doing that unless it behooves us to actually
We're not solving the case.
solve
We're not
this
saying
properly.
this case is solved. As you're saying, it's just for us.
No, I
to
mean, we would be
delay.
telling the Mercurials that we solved it. Are you okay with that? And then we're secretly still working on the case.
I'm fine with that, but only if we don't have any other pieces to play at
Here's
that
the
point.
thing,
you
though.
know?
I think we're on a time crunch.
We are. When Peter was leaving, I had said good luck with your investigation and everything as he was leaving, and he looked at me and said, what was the exact phrase? And I already know I'm gonna. Basically, he knows he's gonna lose everything.
Yeah, if we accuse him
If
and
we
say
accuse
he's guilty,
everything.
they're gonna strip him from history and shit.
Yeah.
He said
does
he
that
was
mean?
willing to do
Stripping
it
from
because he
history.
had time. But
Yeah,
I mean, you're
Right,
willing,
doesn't sit
willing, and whether it's a good thing are two different
yeah.
I know
statements.
it doesn't sit
Listen,
well with
that
me.
that's the card we play if we have no other cards to play, in my opinion,
But
because
what
that's
I'm-
what he wants.
Yeah, but what I'm asking is, do we have any other cards to play, like right now? Because here's what I'm hearing from y'all, is that some fucking person murdered this guy, and I gestured to Ben's body, and is framing Miss Moore, but then we show up in Unknown Element, and we're going to fake solve it potentially. But if we don't fake solve it and we say there's some, then what? Is this other person who actually did this going to go into hiding, going to come after us? Or like,
Okay.
Well, we've established, that we believe why he was murdered has to do with the thing that he was working on, right?
Okay, all right.
So we need to understand: was he killed to stop him from using that, or was he killed so they could steal his research and use it themselves? That's the
okay.
I think that one.
I guess my question is, do you think you can solve this in the however much time we have before the Mercurials come for an answer? Because it feels like that's what we have to be able to do. We can either
Right.
solve it surely before they arrive, or we take the out and buy ourselves some time.
Well, so we have time first before we take the out because Ms. Moore has to be interviewed by Peter.
Yeah.
And he'll take his time
not
with
by
that,
Peter,
I'd
by
assume.
them, right? Peter and
said he was
Miss
learning
Moore.
it. He said he was going to be interviewing her.
No, he said he was collecting her out of respect for her. I think.
Oh, I
don't
thought he was
necessarily mean-
interviewing her. Okay.
No. He retrieved her because he's
He kept saying
they're
he
family
wasn't
friends.
in charge of the investigation, as far as I remember.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're more than capable.
Yeah. I
whatever
wish we knew
you
who
think.
was in charge of the investigation, but,
Yeah, but
we
that's
couldn't.
that's what I'm concerned about. I feel like there are a lot of moving pieces, and I got to be honest, there's a lot to go through. How old was this guy? Like really old. There's a lot to go
hundreds. Yeah.
through. But if y'all are fine with, okay.
He rattled off several centuries worth of accomplishments of of Ben's.
Of what Ben
And,
said,
So-
yes.
Yeah.
and they said they were apprentices together, so they're roughly maybe the same age.
Well, listen, I don't want Miss
Said he
Moore.
chose to grow old.
Yeah, I don't want Miss Moore taking the fall for something she didn't do.
No.
She is almost as mundane as they come, in only that she doesn't really understand the nature of the way things work. But she is one of us.
Okay. So, let's say we take, I don't know, a day for the interview of her. Because they'll interview her. We know that
I don't think
much.
it's going to take that long, Harry. Think about it, okay? Hold on. Let's role play for a moment. I'm at my desk. You come in. You're green. And I go, okay, Harry, what'd you find at the scene? You rattle off some things. And I go, okay, what about Miss Moore? We're going to have somebody interview her. Now somebody not green is going to come and investigate the scene, right? Because you suspiciously found like nothing. Like, how much time do we have before somebody comes to look for that shit is what I'm worried about.
Right. Well, maybe more than we think, because they do know that D.U.M is here
That's
investigating.
pretty good. But now, if you're a bad guy, does that make you panic and then try to come to the scene to stop us from finding shit?
But that's
Or
what
do
we
you
want
back,
then.
Right, or do you back up and just wait to see what shakes out?
Right, and if they
think-
bet, so I think it's good either way then, because either they show up and we know someone's that we know who's doing it. If they show up, they're gonna send in greens so that they can come here personally.
Maybe. We don't know that. They
We
could do
don't,
the
but-
opposite thing where they just hang back and think that we're going to think that. And so they let anybody go investigate and then take the fall.
And that,
It's
yeah,
Peter.
fair. If they
Hold
plan for things
on.
obviously to
It's
find,
Peter.
then they're not gonna do it themselves. Yeah,
No,
that's
no,
true.
no. That's why Peter suggested we're framing Peter, right? Because he showed up, and then of course we are finding this extra shit. I don't know. I'm overwhelmed. This is too much
Did you find
thinking for
anything
me.
on that plant, by the way, Pan?
Oh, you mean
This isn't Latin. I'm pretty sure this is Greek. So it's all Greek. I didn't bring a big book of Greek, but I can roll
you can
if
roll if you'd like.
Oh, I thought these books were in Latin. That was what said when we
I
grabbed the herbology book first.
Was it? Because I did
Yeah.
say there's some in German and there's some in other languages as well.
But this one, I believe you did say,
Okay.
because I knew the
I'll
Latin
trust
roots was
you.
like herba.
Yeah, you go-
Herba was one of them.
right. Atropa
Close
is
is-
Greek,
yeah,
but I'm
Atropa is
happy to roll to see if I can connect the dots.
yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Can I use my applied cognition
Yep.
again? Big
Yep.
brain.
You
All
got
right,
it.
Big brain.
it.
That is a failure.
80. Okay, here's what I will give you. And you gave it to yourself. A tropo stems from a tropos, which is Greek for. We kind of really went over it just now, sort of.
I think it's thread cutter.
It's thread cutter, which would imply what?
Murder, death,
Death.
and the fates, cutting your thread.
Ending.
That's the last thing the fates would do in
Which
Greek.
would imply the plant
Ending.
is of a.
Poisonous.
Toxic.
Nature.
Yeah, it's, yeah.
That's all I can give you
and-
with an 80 for now.
Okay. Poison. That's what I got for you.
Okay, so that book wasn't very useful, but good enough. Okay, poison. Why did Ben get that himself?
I don't know.
Well, didn't Peter mention that Ben was the one that discovered that the dose makes the poison or the medicine?
Right.
Well, that's a saying, isn't it?
No,
A
that's
little bit of
medicine.
Like, well, that's the definition of
It
you know.
is a saying.
If you want to get a little deeper into it, that which doesn't kill you makes you stronger. A little bit of poison will eventually become the cure.
And there are plenty of poisons that you microdose essentially, and it actually acts as more of a cure than it does poison itself. There's digitalis, foxglove. You're not supposed to eat it. It'll kill you. It stops your heart. However, it's used in medicine to slow the heart down for heart surgeries. It's a weird fact I happen to know, but that's the idea, digitalis, foxglove. So you take a tiny bit, it's poison, but it's used medically. So that could be this, yes. But then why was he trying to do whatever this was in a small dose? And
Holy
what would that
shit.
help him in any way? We need to figure out
Yes,
what this
Alder?
plant actually is.
I just had
You
to
have an
really,
epiphany?
maybe lightning just struck my brain, I think. What if you have to get close to dying to then be able to don't they say that your life flashes before your fucking eyes when you die?
Get close to dying and unlock memories within the spell.
Yeah. What if it's that?
That would make sense, and that could even be the missing page over there.
I still don't know about that missing page then. If all this is fake, then maybe that's fake as well.
Maybe, but they were so adamant on not saying what it was. They were about to. Rome was about to say what it was, and
Yeah, but
Mira
if
stopped.
That's
they're-
why.
Yeah.
Them not saying it makes it look suspicious, which points us in the direction of the evidence. Just like
You really think it's a red
burying,
herring?
Obviously.
I mean, it might be. I don't know. But if everything else is planted, why wouldn't that be as well?
You know, that's true. The book. Oh, goddamn! I grabbed the book again, the
Yeah.
one that was taken and put back. Which
Yeah.
the title in Latin was gibberish.
Yeah.
That we found out from the Latin book. I know this one was Latin. It was
Yeah.
how to make a straight road, and then there was a signature, not a signature, but a forward note from
Yep.
somebody. Happy to see you continue your
Not
work,
just somebody.
Jacob.
Jacob, yeah. Very, like, you don't know this, but that's the first mercurial. So it's like a big deal. But
Okay.
anyway, yeah.
Well, I definitely. But so
You
I
don't know
opened that.
Pretend I didn't say that. That's
Yeah,
fine.
but I grabbed that book and say that again.
Yeah.
This was taken and put back to made it, and they didn't want this to be seen. This was something that you revealed, Pan.
They didn't want this forward to be seen?
No, I don't think in general the book, because it was taken and replaced according to your picture, whereas everything else is obvious as you were just noting.
Hold on. I think it's dangerous to imply what desire here, like what the person wanted or didn't want us to find.
Right.
Just
I mean more
saying.
obvious evidence versus not obvious
That's
evidence. This is the
good.
first one that
That's
is
good,
not
Harry.
obvious.
Yeah.
This is the one that was not hidden, but it wasn't shown to us like the others were.
It wasn't laid out for us to find.
Correct. The footprints were also one of those, because we got 2 sets of footprints, and yet everyone's thinking there's one murderer, but there are 2 people that came through here. Same with the greenhouse, also not meant to be found. So, but this book, what is this book about? We looked at it. I think all you were able to figure out was it says how to make a straight road or something like that. But the insides, the farther you go down, it's not that. You were saying it wasn't about roads, but I don't think we really sat and looked and see what this actually is about.
I mean,
it's
we can try
a
and
front.
We can try and delve deeper on. I mean, we've got
That's
some time.
I think that might be the only thing we can go off of if we're going to treat everything like it was planted.
There's also something else that
Yeah, sorry. Just
Yes.
to inject this in here, because I think you would know this because of looking at the tome and just the way translating works. It's like, even if you have a big book of Latin, it's going to take Gus time and to sit and go through this, and then also maybe a couple of pass-throughs, because the way you try to translate Latin is through context. So it's going to require some time, even with this big book of Latin. Okay, yeah. Like probably a couple of days, if not more. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but nonetheless.
Yeah,
So,
right.
so
there's
this is a
something else
piece.
that Peter said about Ben, that he was obsessed with the stars. That's why he has this telescope here.
Andromeda, specifically.
Yeah.
What the hell
I don't
is
know if
that?
that's
It's a-
Why Andromeda? It's a galaxy.
What?
Yeah, he was talking that, Ben was really excited for the day that Andromeda would crash into the Milky Way, basically, which is, terrifying.
Billions of years or something.
Yeah, I guess scope doesn't matter as much to an immortal, but I'm gonna take a look through the telescope and see if I can glean any insight from where the telescope was pointed.
Yeah, okay. Ooh, roll for me.
Oh, maybe it wasn't Andromeda. He just was using it as an excuse.
Yeah.
It's got lenses. That's my specialty.
Yep, that's right. Why don't you actually do a 10 shift, which means you would have succeeded on that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit.
Oh, you did have a 10 shift. Okay.
That's with the 10 shift.
Yep.
Oh,
all
it
right.
wasn't extra
So
for that?
48.
No, that's in...
Yep.
Okay.
Would you? It was already in there. Gus was on top of it. Do you want to burn, Gus, for another attempt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
You know,
I really
your
do.
odds aren't any better of succeeding. Just pointing that out.
Well, no, they are, because if he doesn't roll there,
No,
that's a failure.
It's just a joke between Gus and I, Harry. It's fine. Go ahead,
okay.
Gus. You go ahead.
I
and
saw
roll.
I missed that.
And I believe this will lead to me having a minor burn condition.
All right. Let's
That's
go
my
ahead
fourth
and
point of burn.
make your roll, and then we'll do the burn condition after. Even though technically, I think you're supposed to roll the burn condition first. Okay, 79. Nothing. Go ahead and roll your minor burn.
Where is that button? Oh, there it is.
On the hand.
On the palm. Do you want to read that out, or shall I?
Insatiable. You might physically feel full, but you will always feel hungry. Food doesn't clear burn.
Oof.
I didn't
Why
know
did that
food could.
sound like an
Yeah, it
elongated
clears-
version of the meme?
Ugh.
Sorry, I don't know pop culture references, but that was pretty like pitch perfect.
Yeah. No, food can clear minor burn.
Clip that.
Okay.
Food and
yes,
rest.
somebody clip that.
But-
Yeah, food does normally, yeah, but right now it does not. Okay, until you get that cleared.
Yeah.
Right.
Do I glean anything from
I
this
don't-
telescope?
Do you normally, are you much of a stargazer there, Gus? Would you know?
Actually, yes.
Yeah,
In
I
the
was gonna say,
context, yeah.
Would you
yeah.
know roughly where to spot the Andromeda Galaxy? Would you know that?
I would say I know, like, you know, like the major constellations and like maybe a couple of like trivia pieces
Okay.
about, you know, like stars and.
Follow-up question, because we can roll for it, but did you do most of your stargazing back home? Or
In Australia, yes.
Yeah, because the sky's different. Okay, so, all right. So now let's roll, because you're going to have to reorient yourself.
Southern Hemisphere disadvantage.
Yeah, well, it's just about orienting yourself.
No,
to,
no,
yeah.
I get it. I get it.
All right.
I get it.
I do
Like, I
find
can't-
myself quite the stargazer.
I can't see the Southern Cross from here.
Yeah, exactly. You know, from the, you can only see my favorite, and this is not me. This is PB, not Alder. My favorite galaxy, or not galaxy, the Carina Nebula, you can only see from the Southern Hemisphere, and I have to go someday and look, and I think you can only see it from like an observatory in Chile. But the whole Andromeda bit is like, I'm sad that I'm going to die before we get to see it. Because one day the Andromeda Galaxy will be as close that we'll be able to look in the sky and it'll look like the Milky Way, and it's super crazy, and I'm just sad we're going to miss that. Okay, anyway, go ahead. What
Is
were
that
we rolling for?
Is that the Carl Sagan quote? Like the galaxy rise? Is that what he's talking about?
I
always
actually
wondered.
I have no idea what your reference is, but I'm interested.
Carl Sagan's has like a still more glorious sunrise awaits, like as like
Oh,
about
probably.
like this future of like
He might be referencing that. I mean, I don't know. But yeah, there's going to be some crazy stuff in the future, assuming we live that
All
long.
right.
Okay,
What's
what are you rolling for? I'm so sorry.
I suppose mind again would make sense.
Yeah, I distracted myself. But what are you rolling for? I've totally forgotten. Oh, to look. Oh, to orient yourself. Got it. Go ahead, roll.
Yeah. Star knowledge.
Yep, you got it.
No, not today.
No, not today. So I think there's maybe a moment where you're kind of like, you look through, A, it's daylight, and then B, you're kind of like, oh, shit, I'm not used to kind of orienting myself. But if you'd like, you can write down kind of where it's oriented in position of the room in your little notebook if you want, so that you can maybe do the math later. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll sketch, I guess, what I perceive to be the focal point, or like what it's trying to observe, and then.
Well, it's a pretty fancy telescope. Like, I imagine that you could like look down and see the degrees and where in which it's pointed. So you write that down, and then you have the address is to his house. So you'll be able to, you write all that stuff down, and later you'll be able to figure out maybe what it was looking at.
Yeah.
All right.
He doesn't have any books on astronomy, does he?
I'm sure he does, actually. So if you want to yank some of those, you're more than welcome. Anyway, now what?
How
I
many
do keep
books can
this-
you yank from the bookshelf until it's no longer evidence but just looting?
It's a good question.
5.
I love that you put a number
Did you
on
make
it.
that up
Yeah.
on the spot?
I mean,
Of course
who
I
does
did.
that?
What? There's no ordinance for.
Just
what
wanted
you-
to be
I
moral
only-
about this.
I only
Like, how
took
much-
4. It's fine. I'm gonna put him back. He's not
All
using
right.
them.
Okay.
Sorry, Ben.
I do take one of the books from the stack with my
Yeah.
latex gloves on and put it where the Latin book, the road book, quote unquote,
You're laying a
was.
trap for the trapper. Is that what
Essentially,
we're doing?
I'm replacing this so it's not looking like we took this book.
Okay.
Now we can keep it.
But if they did not want it to be found, if they come back here, they're going to see that we found it and took it with us.
I mean, they'll know either way if
fine.
it's empty.
Yeah.
If it's not empty, they might maybe skim over it and not pay attention.
Yeah. I have a confession to make.
Please.
I am fine letting an innocent man take the fall because he's willing to do so to get the right guy. I was just curious
Yeah.
if you all were.
Okay.
As long as we don't abandon this and we do follow it to.
Well, of course not. Nobody's talking about it abandoning nothing. But if it means that we get a better shot at getting the guy that's really up to no good and willing to frame Miss Moore,
And Peter eventually, yes.
I don't know if it would have led back to Peter.
Well, now they'll be okay with it. Now is what I mean.
Oh yeah, or will they? Maybe it'll draw out something unexpected. Anyway, I'll do whatever y'all decide. If you don't want
I'm
to,
fine. I'm not fine with it, but I'm fine with it.
I mean, I don't see any other way.
I'm slightly concerned that this is going to be something that we can't solve immediately. That this might be something that we gotta work at for a while.
No.
From the sounds of it,
We're
it
gonna-
sounds pretty big.
Yeah.
I don't think we can do it in a day.
Sounds like we're just going to need time.
You still have that blood sample, right? Midas?
Yeah, hold on. And I'll pull out that ampule of Ben's blood.
If in theory we could find, someone more skilled in chemistry and forensics to analyze that, you think that'll help us at all? You think that's a piece for this, or does that just
Yeah, I think we're going to need help. Yeah. You know how Oglethorpe is a professional for monsters? I think it's going to be like that. We're going to need to find somebody that is magically
I have some
sensitive to this
friends-
shit. Oh, you do?
Oh, magically.
I mean, they don't
know
need
about
to be
magically. Yeah, I have some friends from university that are currently working in the medical field. I probably can see if any of them have access to anything like blood analysis.
Well, in my wents, I do work in forensics, so I could,
Could we do both?
try and shake that.
Is there enough blood for each?
Yeah, see if there's
like
discrepancy.
I personally, I like to kind of go, okay, well, you do that and you do that, and let's see if the answers are the same.
I guess it depends, because I'm imagining your technology is probably a little more advanced than mine in terms of, our respective whereabouts. But it just might be easier for me to get access to people with the skill set.
Yeah, I'm always happy to try. I have friends who will look at me weird, but hopefully maybe not ask questions.
Well, that was my follow-up question. Like, are you okay involving them in something that might...
Maybe
This is
we
gonna
do
be
go with
difficult. Yeah, sorry. Just because this is a deceased person's blood. You give it to your friends and be like, hey, where'd you get this? And be like, oh, don't worry. Whereas Gus, since he works in forensics, I mean, dead people's blood isn't really...
And maybe someone will be willing to overlook it.
Well, but the other thing is it's dead person's blood from what? 20 years early? Like if, for Catsi anyway. Are they even
Well,
going
not
to
going to
realize
carbon
it's a
date
dead
it, I
person?
doubt.
No.
But
I
I
don't
just
think they're
mean...
gonna carbon date it.
Yeah, well, but
Oh, I see what
just
you
mean.
mean.
They're not going
It
to...
don't matter.
It's not going to be in the news or nothing recent.
Yeah, the name that will pop up would be like, if a name is tied to it, or if you're just like, I just want to know what's in this. We're not doing a
doubt
DNA
name would-
test.
Well, okay, here's what could happen. I doubt a name would be tied to it just because Mercurials hide themselves by their very nature. But that doesn't mean that whoever did this isn't waiting to see if it pops. But that's interesting because we're here now. Are they still around
In 1994, 1995.
Or are they looking back that far? Would they keep looking and waiting for that many years?
I'm fine with a honey tarp.
Honey
what
trap?
now?
Honey what?
That's the one.
Honey pot?
That's the one.
Honey, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
It's a pot
fine
of-
with
pot of
that.
honey.
I think that's a really good idea. It would tell us something, wouldn't it? It would tell us if
Where'd you get honey tarp?
Well, that's something that you do out in the mountains when you're trying to trap a bear.
You get a
Right,
top and
okay.
Get a
slather it
tarp
in
and
honey?
you slather it in honey.
Over a hole, I'm
Okay.
assuming.
Yeah.
All right, I learned something today.
Yeah.
Not familiar with that, no.
Okay. Well, now you are. But I mean, we could learn something by doing a honey trap
Honey pot.
pot.
Interesting. Gotta add that. Honey tarp.
Yeah.
So, do we want to split it then between the two?
Do we
Yeah,
have
but-
enough blood?
Do we have enough? That's the question.
Yeah, I don't know how much it takes.
Yeah. How much goes?
Look at an ampule. I don't know how big an ampule is.
You don't have to roll for it if you guys want there to be enough. This idea is cool shit. I'm fine with that.
Yes, do it.
Yes,
yeah.
and. Okay.
I think it should be enough.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay.
We get to see characters for people's backstories. I'm in.
Yeah, I'm in. Holy shit. I mean, I think probably what is fair is because we're splitting the blood in half, you just take like I would imagine like a -5 or something on your roll to figure whatever it is out.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just because you don't have the whole vial for yourself. Okay. All right.
Other question
Yeah.
I had an idea. If we head back to the office
Yeah.
and say the book that we have that was clearly taken and put back after being looked at by probably the murderer. I say probably, not 100%, but probably. Would we be able to just open the door to lead us to who messed with this book?
I'm so sorry. Say that again.
The book that was tampered with and
Yeah.
replaced
Yeah.
so that it wouldn't be found.
Yeah.
Wouldn't we just be able to go back to the office and then focus on this like an anchor and had it lead to the murderer?
I mean, shit. Yeah. If we won't, we could try. Magic's weird. We can certainly try. But do you want to just show up at the
That's-
murderer's house? Like,
I don't know,
Also,
maybe.
not evidence. Throwing up at someone's house isn't enough to put someone away.
I mean,
No,
it would
but
let us maybe know who to look at. But
that.
Yeah. I mean, it's worth a try, but I mean,
that's only if it's an exact science, because it could throw
Yeah.
us to the wrong person.
Yeah.
And it could take us to Jakob's
But it could lead us to an
grave.
address. We don't even have to talk to him. If it leads us to a house and an address, we have an address now that we can
yeah,
look at.
but it could it could lead us to potentially the murderer. It could lead us to whoever owned this before Ben. It could lead us to a lot of variables, Harry. I mean, we can
the
try,
author?
but
Yeah. it could
Yeah,
be.
that's true.
Yeah, right when it was written. I mean, we can
Yeah.
open a door and it's a scribe who's penning it.
holy shit, we could meet
Which
the
would be
first
cool,
mercurial.
admittedly.
Who?
We could meet the first mercurial, right?
I don't know who. Maybe who's that?
Is that who
That's who
Jakob
that is. Now you get
Oh.
to find out the truth. That pen, that Jacobus or whatever in there, that's the very first mercurial I'll have you know.
Well, then, did he know Ben? Is he still alive?
I mean, I would assume
It says,
so.
"Glad to see you continue your work."
When was this written?
I kind of like
that's a
lean
good
over
question.
1764. It looks like.
Yeah, Ben's old.
So they may have known each other then. And
Wow.
does this look like it's written in pen or like a
Ink
like a
and
quill?
Yeah, would have been old.
Quill, okay. Yeah.
Quill. And
The,
let
the,
me
the,
just
the signature continue your work.
double,
Okay.
triple check that my date was right. It would have been around 1768
Yeah,
or so. That's
Yeah,
when
I'm
he was
thinking-
an apprentice. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that would have been. That's
So
what I was trying
somewhere
to
around
think.
there.
Is this
we
book
can
more
say that it's a
recently
little
given?
late. Yeah, we'll say it's like, let me look at his timeline here. Hold on. Let's say it's 1774.
Okay.
Damn.
So they're definitely, if indeed this was given around that time, this would be a quill, obviously, versus a ballpoint pen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That's true, I suppose. If we could, and I'm just spitballing. I'm just thinking of ways that if we can get, if it looks around this era, this date, then we would be able to at least somewhat determine they're connected to this book, at least, with an address.
Yeah, you know what is interesting about this book, though? It does tie us directly to the mercurial. So if we need something mercurial-like in a recipe, something from this book, like a page, dare I say, would be pretty powerful. This is old as shit. We should take it with us, you're right. But it is stealing.
Well, we're investigating. It's evidence that we're investigating into.
Hey, Ben, do you object to me using this book to solve your murder? Say something if you disagree.
I'm sure Miss Moore would be fine with it.
I'm not going to dig into the moral implications of that, but let's stick with 5 is fine.
5 is fine.
Listen, I talk to dead people all the time, and they're pretty agreeable when it comes to solving their own murders.
Wait, I'm sorry, you do?
Talk with or talk at?
Hey, Miss Jenkins, I see your wedding ring's still here. Hope nobody cares about this missing.
No. Okay, that's different. That's you made it weird.
That's different. Oh, I made it weird. Oh, okay. I'm just repeating back what you told me. Maybe I should go help myself to Ben's. Does he have a jewelry cabinet? Maybe he's got some watches.
I mean, a watch would be good if we're trying to time. Right. Never mind. I meant for time travel, a time travel ingredient.
I hold up my Casio watch.
It's
I
fine.
have a watch.
It's fine.
At this point, I go over and I'm like, I'm gonna like arrange him neatly. How about that? Some respect for the dead.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we'll put a blanket over him. You know.
Yeah, he was sitting up because we moved him to get the blood.
Mm-hmm. Just don't touch his neck.
I'm sorry. So how are you moving him?
I'm not touching any of his exposed flesh.
Okay.
No, I'm avoiding that. But
how are you setting him?
Just kind of, on his back. Getting him away from the.
Make me a Am
I penalized for this?
Nope.
All right. Body?
Yep.
Oh, baby, that's the way to roll that.
That's a
1 for those listening.
Oh, my
success.
God. What?
Well, you timed that beautifully, Gus.
Holy shit, Gus. Okay.
The motorist confession falls out of his pocket.
No, but what I will say is as you lift him up.
He wakes back up.
Yeah. The way.
Oh, you were murdered. Well, that's easy.
It was I just fake died. No, as you lift him up and decide to set him fully back. Now, if we remember, Miss Moore did kind of like lift him up and try to shake him and whatnot.
Yeah.
And, however, he is recently deceased, we did establish, which would imply sometimes that there is still air left in the lungs and can sometimes escape. Either in sounds, death rattles, things like that. Now, Ms. Moore, it's possible like she, shook him and so there was no air left. But Gus, some comes over you as you are kind of like lifting him up and setting him down in the chair. You've dealt with a lot of cadavers before, and I think you're waiting for that kind of just expel of air as you set him down, and you realize the body ceases to do that, push something out, but then nothing comes out. He had no air in his lungs.
Lungs. Peter said that he worked on asthma and the classification of lungs, that medicine only had to be dealt in inhalation. He talked about belladonna.
Belladonna,
Isn't that a poison?
that is a poison, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't say I know what it looks like, but... Wait, so Ben had asthma?
No, if I'm remembering, then excuse me, it's been a little bit. I do remember Peter recalling that asthma was made of many parts, but Ben
That it's
had
not
found
one
a cure to
disease,
it?
it's many. That he had found out that, he talked about medicine for asthma rather than like injected or drank, that it was inhaled. That was my understanding, or it was delivered through the lungs, I think.
Yes.
So he may have been killed by an inhalation, and that the injection is just another red herring to be found.
Point to Miss Moore.
Deterrent.
Was he given too strong a dose, or was he? Because he picked this plant. If this is belladonna, and he was doing more work on that, he picked it. He wouldn't, in theory, overdose on himself. Hopefully. Or did he die and they found him and then they're framing it as murder? But I think that's a bit of a stretch. Either way, did someone give him extra if he was testing a thing, or they just?
Did he unknowingly inhale his own demise?
Or did they give? Was he researching on it, not inhaling, and then someone had him inhale it too? But he didn't look like he had any struggle when we looked at him.
I think we should go back and investigate the evidence we have. We can check the hypo instrument, the end of it, to see if there's any residue of whatever was injected. We can investigate the blood to see if there's anything in that as well, and I think that will answer the questions of what, if anything, was given to Ben.
Yeah, because he definitely got something. You determined that yourself, Akachi. The eyes were dilated. There was no residue on the mouth, so nothing was eaten.
Okay, hold on. Are you saying Ben's life work was around the lungs?
Yeah.
And he died maybe in the same way as his life's work?
Very possibly.
I think that would imply an incredible personal touch here that makes me a little uncomfortable. That's some vindictive shit.
That's too poetic.
That's fucked up, is what that is.
Perhaps a previous apprentice that would know what he's working on, and was upset that he stopped having them be an apprentice, which was verbally said.
I just mean that's a viciousness that
that would warrant
absolutely it is
serious animosity. But all Ben has done is good. So what would cause such a?
If he was working on this as well, the memory thing, if he was, and say he stopped an apprentice from being their apprentice, maybe they were looking into it too much or they wanted to use it in some way, they might feel slighted.
Peter said something else about that. I'm trying to remember how he phrased it. He said that sometimes the world is not ready for certain revelations.
That they kind of gatekeep things because there's a certain pushback.
The world has to want to be saved.
Yeah, you can't save them. You can't be their savior if they don't want one. They have to be ready for it.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, I guess.
I'll admit I didn't immediately remember this, but I feel like because it's been some time outside of this thing, but in reality it would only been maybe an hour at most ago. Yeah. Remember, Gus, when you tried to see how he died and you had that weird choking breathing problem, feeling that and burning, you said? That sound like something, maybe inhaling a poison?
It doesn't sound like a reaction to an injected opiate would just knock you out. It would not. You wouldn't struggle.
You'd look pleased and pleasant.
I have to hide my camera because I'm oozing over their brains right now. Sorry. Y'all keep going. Bye.
So
he definitely died from inhalation. Now. I'm going to say definitely.
So even the poison is a red herring, but...
Well, not the poison, the injection is.
Sorry, the means of the poison's delivery was a red herring, or that whatever they put into his system was just...
Well, you said, Akachi, you determined it was an opiate, right? Yeah. No, we assumed it was an opiate because of the eyes dilation. We didn't ever actually found that it was an opiate, right?
No,
well,
it was confirmed.
No, we found it.
Was confirmed. So the injection was, but that's not what, that was after the fact. That was post-mortem then.
But that's not what killed him. Belladonna. Is this plant belladonna?
I don't know, but I'm guessing based on...
Did the person that killed him reference several pieces of his work? Because these were all different things that Peter talked about, all his different accomplishments. It's like they've coalesced several of them together to bring his ends. It seems so spiteful.
I mean, I hate to say, whether or not it was a puppeteer, I don't know. Those two, the Rowan and the other, they wanted to. If it is a red herring, we pointed out the page that was missing. They didn't want to talk about it. When Peter said they should have been able to talk about it, then that would have been directing us to his research about memory. What if it was nothing about that? And it was just really revenge and spite because he stopped being their apprentice. They did not seem happy about that. And it was a year ago they had said that they had stopped being an apprentice, and that was apparently around the time he started working on this stuff. But no, Peter never even saw him working on this. Peter said that he never saw the board.
You said the latch on the window
was made to look like someone exited out of it. But no one did. Did
you say it had to have been opened from the inside?
Correct, because it was unlocked. It was not tampered from the outside. So it was unlocked from in here, and we saw the footprints go to that. And we saw the footprints go and look around like I did, but I know that in the greenhouse, but I also know that Ben took that, presumably belladonna or some other poison, but the others were looking around. So it's possible they also were looking around and playing. I have a strong suspicion that apprentice is just angry that they stopped being an apprentice of Ben. They knew what this formula was. They knew for memory extraction.
Okay, hold on.
Did they kill him because they didn't give information from him? He had stuff they wanted to know with all of his accomplishments.
I love you so much, Harry. You are making a lot of leaps right now. Like a lot of, and that's fine. We need that. But what I want to know right now is, do we leave anything? Do we leave a message of our own? Do we leave a little trap of our own?
Yeah, I think so.
What does that look like? I think you're onto something, Harry. But to me, this seems like a lot of rage for what looked to be a 19-year-old.
I think there's a good chance that we've met an accomplice. I don't think we've met the murderer.
And that's fair. There's two.
Or the architect. But I think we've met one of the accomplices. What was that?
Yes. Or a pawn.
A pawn.
You can't leave out that. I still think they're too green.
Pawn.
Pawn
is more. That's a better word, I think.
One second here. I know I'm making leaps. I get it, but
that's fine.
What if they weren't green? Peter looked older than Ben because they choose how they look. These kids were making themselves look perfect with the glamour, over the top clean. Are we sure they are actually? I mean, you made Ms. Moore look like someone else.
Yeah, I did.
They can do that too.
Yeah, they can. I mean,
that could have been.
It's pretty basic, but okay.
I feel like Peter saw through that,
I mean, that would be a pretty deep infiltration, considering that they were apprentices, and Peter, being good friends of Ben, would have definitely noticed and know, since he's a mercurial. Hey, are these new recruits, or have they been here for a while?
Yeah, it does sound like they manipulated somebody dumb.
Because they shouldn't have been here in the first place. How did they get this assignment for a murder of a high-profile mercurial? They wouldn't have.
Somebody from the outside orchestrated it.
Or the inside, because they know the procedures and were able to get them assigned to this. If it was outside, they wouldn't be able to get greens assigned.
I think we got to interview some people, I guess. We're going to have to very discreetly find a way to interview whoever is actually in charge of this investigation from the
they wouldn't tell us who.
No, I know, but I mean,
we're able to do that. That's bad.
We've got Carrot, even if we don't have Stick at the moment. We have evidence and salient points to make that will assist them in their investigation if they assist us in ours.
Could we just leave a message?
Pro quo kind of thing.
Yeah. Could we just leave a message for the leader of this investigation, just going, "Hey, we found some extra evidence.
We
love
want
to
to use the typewriter back at the office. We have a
Right, we
typewriter
can- but
that we
okay,
could
that's
just
fair.
send
We
them
could do that.
mail and they can send it back, and we can arrange a meeting at that time. What
Although
I
the
more
kids-
meant was, do we want to leave a message for the murderer?
right." Well, the kids,
Because they always return to the scene of the
Yeah.
crime.
Or we just leave something, and then whoever comes here after us reports back that there's a thing there, right?
yeah, the kids said to message them on the typewriter if we have more questions.
Yeah, that's how we communicate
Yeah.
the office. And the
Right,
materials,
but we
yeah.
don't. But then if they're part of this, if they are, they'll manipulate who we're going to talk to, as in they'll get us someone.
Isn't that great? Like, we'll still need to talk to somebody. We still need to go through the proper channels, Harry.
True. It just wouldn't be the murderer. That's all I mean.
No, we'd have to.
No.
We're gonna have to. Yeah, we're gonna have to try. I don't know.
All right. So, for my money, I've got a book to spend a lot of time with, and I've got a forensics lead.
Yeah.
What else do we have? Sorry, and
Blood.
obviously Midas, you
Yeah,
have.
Midas as well.
Yeah.
Look, that is.
I'm gonna divide and conquer on the blood,
Yeah.
and then I have a lot of book reading to do.
The trowel in this. I mean, whoever planted it would have been one of the perpetrators, regardless. We could maybe see this. Maybe there's residue or something of them, even if they're wearing gloves. Would there be a magic residue of some kind? Is that a thing? Like
Well,
their
we're gonna
essence on
take
it?
that and check it. Yeah, there's possible.
That's what I mean. So that could lead us to who it might be as well.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's gonna only lead us to Miss Moore. But you know what? We might want to. You know what we might want to do? We might want to rebury that. We want to bury Peters
The clean one.
and let them
Yeah.
find it.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
we
that's
missed
fine,
it,
yeah.
which is crazy and gets my.
Here's the other thing. Would this be a thing? You would know, Alda. I put the glove on after, but I did shake Mira's hand,
Yeah.
and she tried to read me,
Oh yeah.
like read me in my thoughts. I was able to stop it.
Oh
I don't know.
wow. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how, but I did. But they were trying to like look into me.
Oh right. That's kind of sort of normal, I guess.
Okay.
I
But
mean,
because
you-
of that,
you read
would there
each
be
other a little bit
residue
with a
under
handshake.
my glove of theirs?
I mean, potentially, yeah. If
And
you leave
we
it
could
on.
see if that. I'm going to leave it on now, but
Yeah.
that could match
Yeah.
if we have two things to compare.
I mean, you're learning really well, Harry, that we want regular physical, mundane evidence and magical evidence. So yeah, keep that glove on.
All right. I'm just checking.
Also,
All right, now
to make a
I'm
point,
out of
this
ideas.
might be minute, but
Yeah.
going off the same thing, remember when Midas took the monocle, I believe I heard Rowan say, "I'm not going to watch this." Now, I'm not sure if that was of the fangirling, or maybe they have an idea of trying to get a better read on us.
With all this, I'm going to say number 2.
It is at this time that I would like to, before I forget, we have to pause for a second. Jim, when you had the thread in your coat, what were you doing with it? Were you doing some magic bullshit there? Were you trying to detect if he was spinning yarn by having the yarn and touching the yarn?
Yep.
Okay.
Trying to see if he was telling tall tales.
Okay, so we're gonna, and you rolled a 2 during that whole thing. So we're gonna unlock an ability here for you to put down on your sheet. And that is that this is like a spell that you can do. And I'm gonna need you to come up with 2 other components to this spell. But essentially, you can use this yarn, and it seems like you need to be touching it, or maybe you need to spend some time the night before spinning it. There needs to be some preparation with the yarn itself, and then you need to have it with you when you're trying to detect a lie. It's like a lie detector kind of spell that you can use. But what are 2 other things that we can add to this other than the yarn to make this spell work?
2 other conditions
Yeah.
in order. So I
Yep.
need to be holding it.
Yep.
I need to be looking. I need to maintain eye contact with
Okay.
whomever I am speaking to.
Yep.
It needs to be constant, and they will have needed to agreed one way or another to the condition that they're going to tell me the truth.
Holy shit, I love that. Okay. Write that shit down. That's now in your spell book, in your cookbook. Okay. Now, question. Does it need to be a specific color of yarn, or can it be any yarn?
It can be any yarn.
Any yarn that
I
you spend
should
some time preparing, maybe?
should also stress that it is not a big ball of yarn that unspools, but basically wool that as it goes on. If it's a lie, it'll get spun into yarn, and I only have enough.
Holy
for
shit.
So
Okay.
there's a time limit.
Okay, that's fantastic. All right, I love that. Holy shit. Yeah, let's write that down. Are we just going to call it spinning yarn?
Yeah, spin a yarn.
Spin a yarn. I love it. Holy shit. Okay. So that means that at any time, Jim can try to go collect some wool for this spell, for this component. Holy shit. A little lie detector. I love it. Okay. That's super fun. All right. I wanted to do that before I forgot. Sorry. Okay. So we're deciding to do this then, is what I'm gathering.
I think so.
All right.
Yeah.
Then I think we better go back to the office.
After burying this, and I, in my
Yeah.
other glove, grab the hypo. I'll go real quick and bury this again. Should I? Should I just put this trowel back?
No,
I should actually.
swap it.
No.
Keep the trowel that was there and give the one that the office provided instead.
Yeah.
It won't
here,
have
I'll
any
take that
fingerprints on it.
Well, it would have Ms. Moore's, but I'll.
No, it won't because she didn't grab it. I just asked her to tell us one of the things
that's
that you
what it was.
found from
Perfect.
the thing.
Great.
Yeah.
And
So, I mean,
then
it might have your fingerprints on it, but I mean, that's fine.
I will be like wiping it
Okay,
off.
perfect. All right.
Nonetheless.
Either
That's
way,
why I was
it
asking
won't
that.
have Miss Moore's fingerprints on it, so
Yeah,
it won't
yeah.
implicate her, which
But
is
I don't
the
want to be
important
implicated,
part.
so I'm
Yeah,
wiping
no,
it
no,
down
fair.
nonetheless.
Yeah.
And I step out real quick, go bury it, put it in the exact same position it was, and then I come back in.
All right.
I will actually leave after Harry because I left Miss Moore in the closet.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start heading down to let her know that the
Wait, she's still here?
Yeah. So the past Miss Moore is,
past Miss
So-
Moore.
Yeah.
still-
Oh my
So-
god, I forgot about her.
Yeah. So for the thing is that it'd be super cool if the door opened and led her to the office, except that she had said, I've been here for about a week and nobody's
Yeah.
paid attention to me. But now we know that is because the Mercurials have current Miss Moore instead. So they just don't realize that she's here. So when you open the door, she is still there waiting. And I think for the time loop to properly close, we would just need to say, we'll be in touch. And then we just know that no one's going to be in touch and she'll come and find us out in the end anyway. You find her,
think
but
I'll-
she's not here. But yes. What do you do?
I'm so sorry. I just left you in there, but
Oh, that's all
we've
right.
got some evidence. And
That's how she is. She's so cute. Sorry, go ahead.
we found some evidence, but we're going to be processing it, so we'll be in touch.
She's just standing in the closet like, okay. Can I get you anything? Do you need anything before you leave?
No, it's take care of yourself.
Please tell me you closed the closet door on her. I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Just slowly close it.
By now.
That's more of a Gus move. I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm heading out.
All right. Okay. Is there anything else we need from here? I mean, we said we can steal up to 5 books.
I mean,
Collect 5 pieces of
the
evidence.
herbology
right.
book. Let's
5
grab the
pieces of
herbology
evidence.
book.
Okay.
Herbology book, the guide on how to build roads, whatever relevant astrology tome there is.
Okay. Well, this is 5 pieces of evidence that you guys want to grab. So that's 3 books, and you're also taking the trowel and the.
Which
Yeah.
is
My
it?
bad. Sorry.
Yeah.
It was
One
5 pieces of
evidence and
evidence. I
ziploc.
thought it was 5 books. My
Yeah,
bad.
no,
My
that's
bad.
all
I wouldn't be so greedy.
Well, but I think that's it. Unless anybody else wants anything, you can get your 3 books.
No, I don't think we have
Yeah,
anything.
I don't think you have anything else. So those 3 books and then those 2 pieces of evidence, right?
Yeah, and we're
have
not,
the-
unless we're
I-
counting the blood.
Oh,
We
yeah,
have,
we gotta count
both.
the blood.
So then
We have
that would
both of
be
the
2 books.
Greymires.
No, one we just
We're
reburied.
burying one and we're
Yeah.
burying Peter.
Okay, we got
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
So
we got the one that was
Greymire.
buried, yeah. So
We have a
got that
trowel.
one. Mm-hmm. A trowel. Then we also have the herb book and the other
the road book.
Yep, the road book. We'll call it the road book, and the fifth one is the vial of blood. Yep.
Vial of blood.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Okay.
Why are we bound by the number 5?
You just
you
said
said
it.
five.
Because you gave it a random number.
No way.
Because you said it.
Because you said
That
it
was-
was an hour.
You said
was
it, and that
books.
made it fact. You know, that's what happened. You said it. Now it's true.
You see the CSI episode? I go, but you can only take 5 pieces of evidence.
Yep.
So you gotta.
And I held you to it.
I've only brought 5 evidence placards, so
So we only could only.
yeah.
All right.
I want to try something weird.
Yeah. Oh, I love to hear those words. Let's go. What are you doing?
I want to go to the greenhouse. I think as everyone's like
Yep.
doing their last rounds of the office, I'd like to go to the greenhouse
Ooh, okay.
and look for the plants, the flower that's been disturbed.
Okay.
Can I tell how it's been disturbed? Is it like, is the earth been moved? Is it been clipped? Like what kind of disturbance is it?
Can you make me a roll first before, like, when you go in? Soul roll, please.
Yes.
Oh.
Why is that an
Oh,
oh,
man.
shit. Well, no,
Because
but
it's
that's
not-
22, but that should still be positive for you because it's 11, 22, 33, even if your mark's 20. So that's positive.
Okay.
That's okay.
And
That's not
possibly
easy.
shift
96,
anyway, because
Yeah.
I pointed out what plant he'd be going to.
Yeah, but it's 22, so you're good.
Oh, that's great.
Okay.
That's fantastic.
You need to give me the rules for that second code that into.
Yeah. I
into
will
this.
do. I'm trying to think of how this happens when you go in. You're looking for a particular plant and you want to see how it was disturbed, right?
Yeah.
How does Akenna help you with this in this moment?
Ooh. Is it just looking? It kind of helping me look for this plant. Is that what you're saying?
No, but no. I mean, if you want to, maybe Akenna is telling you to look for it. But I just mean, as you walk into this greenhouse, you're going to feel the presence of your brother, and somehow Akenna is going to help you find something that you don't know what it is yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think whenever Akenna tries to communicate, Akenna can't speak to Catsi
Yeah.
while she's not wearing the mask. So I think it's more of like a radiation of heat, but not heat, if that makes sense. They feel like almost like a pulse come from the mask at her hip.
Yeah.
And I guess it's almost like a case of hot and cold. It kind of gets more intense the closer to whatever Akenna is trying to lead me to. I
Okay.
get.
Would you be willing to share like a very happy collaborative memory between you and your brother right now that kind of like surfaces to your mind?
Ooh.
Like, I don't know if y'all did the thing where you made forts when your parents weren't home or whatever, and then had to rush to kind of like put it away when you heard the car pull up or whatever. But it'd be something
I
along that
think-
line where it's a secret
Yeah.
between the two of you.
I think I don't know. I remember I remember as a teen, I was probably like 13, maybe 14 years old. And I had my first boyfriend. Didn't tell my mom. My parents were very much focused on studies before relationships. You're like 8. I'm like, I'm adult now. I'm 14. I'm basically an adult. But I remember trying to come up with an excuse to leave the house to meet up with my boyfriend. And as I was trying to convince my mum to let me go, I said I was meeting some friends. We're going to have a sleepover at a friend's house. Akenna stepped in very casually. He was walking down the stairs. I didn't even realize he was listening. He walks down and just says, "Yeah, don't worry. I already talked to her mum. They're expecting a Catsi." And he basically lied that a friend that my mum trusts very much invited me over and used that as an excuse to let me out and stay over at my boyfriend's place. Essentially, Akenna often would have my back, even when, with hindsight, wasn't the greatest or safest option.
Yeah.
He was always there for me.
This memory surfaces for you, and I think pieces of the dialogue repeat as well, but in a different voice. Like you haven't ever heard any of these players really speak, save for maybe Rowan, right, and Peter. But you do maybe hear pieces of that, like, oh no, it's all right, they're expecting me, except you can't hear the name that's used. You know, you're getting pieces of a conversation that happened here that is reminiscent to this memory that kind of surfaces, and they're kind of overlapping each other here as you walk into this greenhouse. And I think you realize there was a lot of laughter and joy in this greenhouse, but there was also a confrontation that happened in here between someone that wasn't Miss Moore, and then your eyes snapped to the plant. Which, how well do you know plants? Are you able to kind of look and see what this is, maybe?
I'm going to be honest, I don't think I know plants very well.
Okay. Then your eyes are going to snap to it, because maybe, I don't know if your brother did, but either way, there's something being sensed here, maybe even magically, that guides you to this disturbed plant. And also Harry gave you directions, but like, there's something else that happens here where you go, and there was something here, something happened here.
And I guess, again, can I tell, is it disturbed? Is it like the plant was jostled? Was the plant
It was
cut, clipped?
Cut, removed. Pieces of it were removed, yeah.
Okay. The sciences that Catsi knows, I'll be honest, is partially based on what I know.
Mm-hmm.
And while they don't know plants, they probably can't tell the difference between a daisy and a daffodil. They have like watched and had those kind of deep dives that kind of strike in the middle of the night, or when like YouTube recommends it, like edutainment kind of thing. That, and one that I feel like everyone knows is the very good clickbaity title for YouTube video, is that that plants quote unquote scream when you cut them. The smell of fresh grass, for example, is the chemicals being released from these plants to tell other plants that they've been hurt. I want to speak with the plants. I want to use that if I can.
So I didn't want to be too clear yet, but I think that's exactly what's just happened. You're communicating with the plants, and they're telling you what they've overheard. It's more like they're kind of gossiping with Akenna right now. And if you want to know that's what's happening, then you can. But if you also just want to be like, what the hell, then that's fine too.
I think Catsi was coming in to do exactly that. So I think when they start hearing these memories and voices and see and sense that it's coming from this plant, I think I'm going to see if I can focus in on it. Now that I know that it seems like they're speaking, that they're talking, maybe not to me, but I'm at the very least overhearing it.
Yeah.
I want to see if I can focus in.
Yeah, with that 22,
that
I'm going to say that you can focus in. What exactly are you looking for beyond the confrontation around this plant?
I want to focus in on the voices I don't recognize. I want to focus on the voices I do recognize, actually. Okay. So I can kind of mark off who was involved in the confrontation.
Hear any voices that you would recognize?
Okay.
I think you can deduce one of them might be Ben, but you've never heard him speak.
Okay.
And you don't know this other voice. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The very least is I know the voice isn't, or I can assume the voice isn't Peter or Rowan or Mira.
Yeah.
At the very least, not the voices that I heard of them.
That's right. And you can write down pieces of the dialogue as well. Also, because I need it, because this was all improv. So whatever you just said with you and your brother, write that down, because I got to make that canon as well in this conversation.
Yeah.
But it sounded good at the time that you said it. I was like, yeah, that all makes sense. Like, don't worry, they're expecting something.
They're expecting.
And that part you couldn't hear, and then some other pieces from that conversation come forward.
Okay.
And then...
What else do I want to do?
Yeah, what else do you want to do here?
I think that's probably it.
Okay.
I don't think of anything else I can draw from these plants. Well, at least with my current skill. Yeah, I think I'll head back up to the rest of the group.
Okay. Then I think what we're going to do, if everybody's okay with it, because we've collected everything we need from here, we're going to do a little bit of a time skip where we are back in the office and we have, and I can have done this so that you guys don't have to have RP'd something that didn't happen. I went ahead and said that we accused Peter, and Peter has now been accused, and then we've retrieved Miss Moore, and she's now back with us at the office, if we're okay with that. Okay.
Yeah.
So I went to go get her and kind of maybe suss out the building and see kind of how things were before y'all get involved and go talk to people. Okay. Then we are back at the office. Miss Moore, would you mind telling us your state of mind at the moment?
Confusion more than anything else.
Yeah. Because I guess I came to get you and accuse Peter, and so that's probably horrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I bring you in, and I come back into the office, y'all are waiting, and I've got Miss Moore. And I say, well, I did it, but now we should explain to her so that she understands that he didn't actually do it. And I close the door behind her. And would you like to sit down?
I think I'm already set making some tea. For the first time, I'm realizing put my waitress skills to the test. I'll make some tea for Miss Moore. Here you go.
Thank you.
Can give you a rundown.
Yeah. Well, the long and short of it is that Peter didn't do it, but we don't know who did yet, but we will figure it out. But they were setting you up to take the fall, and Peter didn't want that. So he asked us to let him do that instead.
Just for now. Just to buy us time.
They were setting me up? Why?
Whoever is responsible, we haven't figured that out or why they were focusing on you. Though from the looks of it, it seems personal.
Personal how?
Maybe not to you specifically, but definitely to Ben. It seems like he was killed by some kind of poison, probably through inhaling it through some kind of inhaler.
Is Ben asthmatic?
No, I don't think so. I know that he liked to, smoke cigarettes and cigars from time to time. Didn't necessarily agree with him all the time, but I no, as far as I'm aware.
It seems like whatever way they killed him, it was very connected to his work, his life's work. So it seems almost like having him have a taste of his own medicine in a almost literal sense. And my personal theory is that they are framing you as a additional way to rub salt in the wounds.
Oh shit,
Kill
I
you
didn't
by
even
your
think
own
about
work.
that.
Mm.
Oh,
and then
that's
blame
terrible.
the love of your life.
I can't remember. Apologies, Ms. Moore. Did you ever meet Ben's apprentices or apprentice? Did you ever talk about them?
They mentioned them maybe once, twice, but I never met them.
All right. Did Ben ever say why he stopped having an apprentice?
No.
Did he seem distraught at all? I mean, because you knew he stopped having an apprentice, right? About a year ago, I believe.
I knew that he had one. I know that he mentioned it in passing in a conversation that he and Peter were having. But I knew nothing about it. I didn't know who they were. I didn't know their name. I didn't know.
Yeah, I'm just trying to tie things together. We know why he stopped. But I was more curious if there may have been some mention of something else within that, or maybe mention of when he stopped having an apprentice. If they were angry about it, or they were sad. If he's mentioned anything about having to break the news to them.
Harry.
Yeah.
Jim, do you mind helping me with something real quick?
Oh yeah, of course.
So sorry.
Of course.
And I'll kind of like...
Thank you, Ms. Moore.
Yeah, I go into my office, and then I shut the door with the two of them. Listen,
Yeah.
I know we want to figure all this out, but perhaps maybe one of you can sit down with Miss Moore and kind of explain the positives. I mean, that she just found out how old he really is and is processing all this, and then her only friend is giving his life up so that she doesn't, get implicated.
Yeah.
Maybe
What are the positives? I mean, really?
he was going to grow old with her. He was giving it
Is
all
that-
up for her.
But
like,
that's almost worse than that. The salt in the wound, he had planned everything to stay with her until the end, and she learns that after he's murdered?
I mean, I'm assuming she assumed that's what was going to happen when they had their vows, but I mean, I don't know I'm not good in these kinds of situations, and I'm hoping one of you two is. Somebody should sit down with her and just have a moment that isn't about work. Can we do that?
It's difficult to squeeze
I
anything positive from this, but I mean...
I can if needed. I don't want to lie, but I could do that too if the one
No
lies and
lying.
No.
Maybe we leave
Right.
this to Jim.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I
I'm
can
not
put
good
this
at-
in a way.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. No, that'd be great. Thank you, Jim.
All right. And then I walk out the door and open the door.
You want some cake, Miss Moore? You have some small cakes and scones as well.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm not fussy, so whatever you
That's
have, I'd happily take. Thank you.
Miss Moore, I'd like to give you just a quick debrief, just to give you some of the positives, though. This case.
Okay.
Jim will kind of take her to the side, so it's just one-on-one. Look, I've been in situations before where nothing really seems all that hopeful, and there's not a whole lot you can look forward to as far as there being anything good. I'm sure that you're going through a lot right now, and it's difficult for you to look past the dark clouds that are hanging overhead. I could tell you everything that you already know. Your husband loved you, and that Peter would lay his life down for you. But I think the best thing I can tell you now is there will be justice and closure, and this too shall pass.
Thank you. It's, this whole thing has just been so strange, you know? I haven't really, you know, you think you know things, or have at least a surface understanding of how your life is supposed to go and what's going to happen to you and the people who you love, and then you find that you don't. Not at all. And I can't help but feel like maybe this is my fault. And maybe his life would have been different if it weren't for me. You know, I'm a humble woman. I do my work, and I tend to my plants, and I try to be kind to everybody and everything, and I do my best, and I'll spare you a lot of things that have happened in my life, but I've always tried my best to see the good in everything. And right now it just feels very bleak. Very bleak. But, all that being said, I do find myself being comforted by all y'all. Sincerely.
Glad that we can provide that for you. And I agree, life can be confusing you. You don't know what's going to happen. You can't control life. Life just kind of happens. And sometimes it happens for the worst, but you can never blame yourself. And everything you said was true. This too is also true. Is that the comfort that you feel is faith that you've put in us. Sometimes that's the only thing you have left, but sometimes it's all you need. Rest assured you can put your faith in us to get this done.
Well, that's the best bit of news I could have received. Thank you.
Of course. I know what it's like.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right. Well then, let's get some scones.
Before you go.
Yes?
I do hope that at the end of this that you find out about what happened to my Benedict. I hope that I get to spend more time with all of you. You've all just taken such good care of my Ben and of me. And if I could in any way extend that back to you, all of you, I would do that. without question, without hesitation. I very much hope that I get to call all of you friends at some point. That'd be nice.
It's more you already have, and you already are.
Thank you.
Do you need a hug?
Yeah, I think I do, actually.
There.
Thanks.
Can I ask, in this moment, I'm glancing around the room here to kind of see how everybody seems to be body language wise. Would you be able to do that for me? Let's start with Akachi. What does the audience see as we look around the room here?
I think Akachi is by the tray of tea and small cakes and scones. I think back towards the rest of the group, tightly clenching the edges of this tray, trying to put on a brave face.
What about Harry?
Harry's grabbed one of the scones and has sat down in his weird ergonomic chair and has taken a bite and looks very confused for a second. Then remembers he can't taste.
Right.
But that's clearly a distraction for himself as he looks incredibly uncomfortable. Doesn't look necessarily sad or compassionate, not dead to feelings, don't get me wrong there, but looks very uncomfortable.
Can I ask you to describe like either the position you're in or just so we can understand, maybe deduce detectives out there watching or listening, the nature of this discomfort?
Yeah, so the weird ergonomic chairs, some can see, it's usually meant for a lot of like a kneeling position almost to remove, discomfort on the back, lumbar, that sort of thing. He's not sitting in it correctly, which is strange for a weird chair.
Okay.
It's almost like he's kind of in a crouching position there. He looks physically uncomfortable, and you'd see him kind of, his eyes occasionally go over to Jim and Ms. Moore and then dot away quickly, and looks like maybe he's trying to distract himself with this scone. Like really does not want to be here.
Okay. And what about you guys?
I think the melancholy sort of has struck a chord with me. I have taken a Polaroid out from the inner pocket of my jacket, and as Miss Moore is speaking, I'm paying more attention to that with my eyes, but I'm listening to her, but I'm looking at this photo.
Can we know what the photo is?
Yeah, it appears to be it's taken like as a selfie with the Polaroid camera. It's of Gus smiling, and he's with a person that hasn't been mentioned or spoken of before.
What do they look like?
He's a man in his mid-30s with very dark hair, stubble, green eyes. He looks a bit tired and withdrawn, with like a sort of like as a gentle smile to his lips and his eyes, whereas Gus is like full of energy. Like it's a really different image of Gus, and with a slightly more withdrawn looking partner, I suppose.
And I know... Thank you, Jim. I know that you are in the middle of an embrace with Miss Moore, but could we know, like, if the scene were to focus on his expression, your expression, what does that look like?
He's really trying to put a brave face on. But it's difficult. Because you're trying to fight back the tears, the pain that you're so familiar with. It's the sort of hurt in your heart that makes it feel like it's about to break in half.
Very eloquent. I think I have the same expression as well, as I realize as I'm looking around the room. And I mean, I knew a little bit about y'all. I knew why you were here. I knew what had happened, but I think it's not until this exact moment that I realized the one thing that we all have in common. We have all lost something we cannot get back. Well, howdy, y'all. That was fucking crazy. Right? Am I wrong? Holy shit. What an episode. Now I do have something special for y'all before we go. I have a trailer for a new show that we're going to play right now. And it's very exciting. It's like very, very, very exciting. And it starts soon. Alright? So you're going to have to clear your Tuesdays. Okay, I'm going to play that now.
Things are getting out of hand. The plague has made it to every corner of Vayfall. We have no means to stop it, no way to cure it. We suffer only losses.
Sylvia is right. It's somewhat under control for now, but soon our infirmaries will be overrun. If we do not find a cure soon, we run the risk of losing control of this pandemic. Who knows what could be next for the people of Felsenhort?
Not to mention the losses we are suffering on trade.
Oh, for goodness sake, trade! People are losing their lives, Biel!
Unfortunately, Biel is right, Nox. Without coin, we have no way of staying the warmongering hand of Invictus Concordia. Trade is our main means of defense.
Vianthracite is our main means of defense. Our military is strong. Our weapons are advanced. Aurora and Invictus are at war. Before long, they'll both be vying for our support.
That might buy us some time. But you and I both know the Emperor will not miss a chance should one present itself.
Okay, so we're no more enlightened on the Void Blight problem. What else is on today's agenda? I do have an entire consortium to run, you know.
Fine. What else? Guild business?
Alden, the Master Tinkerer, is back in town.
He he's been missing for years.
He continues to incessantly call upon us, apparently for a matter of great import. He says he needs the assembly to handle another situation, one that he has no doubt created for himself.
I cannot spare the soldiers, not with open war in the north.
And I will not be sending the shield maidens on another goose chase for him. Perhaps this falls under the purview of the City Watch?
Absolutely not. The Watch has their hands full with the lower gangs. We should outsource this to adventurers. It's Alden, for goodness sake. Whatever it is, it cannot possibly be something worth risking our own people for.
We cannot justify the expense of a premium hire.
Oh, by the light of Surreal, I haven't got time for this. Just put a bloody quest up on the board, and we'll see who shows up.
Fine. Our last bit of business concerns the trouble at the auction house again. It seems more of their priceless items have been stolen. We'll have to get a handle on these thieves before the nobility start to riot.
What? How crazy was that? Are you freaking out? Are you excited? So I told you Tuesdays, there's no date on the trailer, but it's February 17th, guys. 2 p.m. Eastern. All right? Mark it down on your calendar. Be there. And if you have an extra spare minute, please go leave a comment on the trailer on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.tablestory. Okay, you guys are the fucking best. And also, please, if you haven't done so already, hop in the Discord, theorycraft on this fucking monster of a puzzle. They did such a good job today. Their brains are so massive and impressive. I'm blown away. And then also, please tag B and tell her how much she hurts us emotionally with her skill. Okay, and that is it. We're going to now go record our green room. But if you want to watch that trailer again, and I understand if you do, because I had to watch it 3 times in a row, you can do so on YouTube, all right? Okay, I adore you, and we'll see you next week.